And here we go. And hello, everybody. I am Joe. I'm the BizarreStar. I'm an occult detective hunter and final guy. And good God, that was a lot of fun trying to get everything to work. OBS apparently wanted to act really well. Actually, first my computer didn't feel like recognizing my soundboard to the point where I had to restart it. Still didn't work, and then I just unplugged it. Turned off my sound, unplugged my soundboard, and then plugged it back in. That was fine because that scared the hell out of me because I couldn't hear anything, and for some reason, like everything got dissynced and whatnot. Like my mic completely cut off from OBS. I had to put it back, mess with my settings. That's fun. That's not annoying anyway. Good God, really late stream today, at least normal, mostly because I live in Texas, and since apparently it's supposed to get like really cold weather, so people are freaking out at my job, and I had to stay late, so I figured I just push the stream back to 9 o'clock. Don't normally do that. Don't normally like to do that because that's kind of late for some people. I think it's like almost 10 o'clock now or 11, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, I actually have some stuff to talk about here. I actually did want to look into this whole thing about Ubisoft canceling a bunch of games, as well as the whole thing regarding Kathleen Kennedy. I know this happened a few weeks ago, but it kind of ties into... I wanted to look into like a lot of J.J. Abrams stuff, where he's basically, or at least in terms of his writing and whatnot. I thought that was me, but I think we could just save that until tomorrow, so whatever. Anyway, like I said, Ubisoft basically canceled like 6 games, which was the Sands of Time remake. I looked at some of those screenshots. Did not look all that impressive, if I'm being honest, but that's just me. But anyway, let's watch side scrollers and see what they have to say about this. Oh shoot, it's not all. As always. I love thanks OBS. They make this so much easier. Not a massive pain in the ass. All right, anyway. Is it still? Oh, the sound's off.
Out. There is no way they're going to improve anything.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell.
Hold on. Oh, why does it? Oh, that's so. Sorry.
Quality.
There we go.
Benchmarks are fully met. Here.
Doubt. There is no way they're going to improve anything.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell. You know, this is not a Ubisoft decision.
Hold on. This is it. Wow. Whoever. There you go. Anyway, like I said, Ubisoft canceled a bunch of games, including the Prince of Persia remake. Including Ubisoft canceled a bunch of games that includes the Prince of Persia remake. Like I said, didn't look all that impressive, and yeah, let's look more into this. What's side scrollers?
There's time in the show for it.
Oh, great! Before we get to today in game,
I underestimated that.
Harry,
it was loud. Has canceled 6 games, including the Sands of Time remake. Yikes! They've also delayed 7 other games to ensure enhanced quality benchmarks are fully met.
Doubt. There is no way they're going to improve anything.
I'm going to be honest.
I mean,
I'm going to tell. You know, this is not a Ubisoft decision.
Yeah.
This is a Tencent decision.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, that's probably why they my guess is they canceled all these games because they were not up to snuff. They might have had some stuff that like people that Tencent did not like, and they said just get rid of them.
With you.
And I think Tencent goes, yo, dog, these games are utter dog shit.
There you go.
And these need to be either scrapped or brought up to standard here. And I think this is actually a great move because Ubisoft's reputation right now, both publicly and from a corporation standpoint, publicly, not good.
I can't remember a single Ubisoft game I played in a long time. I think maybe the last one, like I'm not even joking, is the last Ubisoft game I remember playing probably was Zombie U. Like, and that wasn't even when that came out. That might have been like maybe 2 years down the line when that game came out. Fun game. It's just, you know, I'm not a big Ubisoft fan. I don't really care about Assassin's Creed. So What, Rayman maybe? Oh wait, no wait. Oh, that's right. I do have Rayman on the Switch. All right, so Rayman. That's about it.
Not good. But this, we always talk all the time. We say, what is the best thing that Star Wars could do?
Go into stasis. Mm-hmm.
Go away.
Well, go away and pretty much, well, I'd say scorched earth. Fucking decanonize everything they've done so far, but they're not going to do that.
And
we'll get into that.
Make people want what you have to offer. So that's what Ubisoft may be doing here. Just going away, refocusing. It actually says in this article, says the review says, as a larger announcement that has conducted a major organizational and operation portfolio reset. The company also stated that it's conducted a thorough review of its content pipeline over the past 2 months, right? What happened a couple of months ago? The major investment from Tencent, right? So they went in and said, yo, we need to look at this shit. Review led to this decision to, quote, refocus its portfolio, reallocate resources, and comprehensively revise its roadmap over the next 3 years. Ubisoft said the focus will be on, quote, a return to exceptional levels of quality on the open world adventure segment and to, quote, step change the group's position in the games as a service native experience segment here. So,
I feel like this is Tencent telling them this is what they have to do, not so much as what Ubisoft wants to do. Like I said, this is Tencent's decision. Tencent does not care about the representation crap, I don't believe, or any of this shit. It's a Chinese company. They care about making money, and they know what makes a lot of these Chinese companies do know what makes money. And they're not stupid. They know this, like any of this representation, DEI, all that crap isn't flying. So they're pretty much saying, it seems like they're just saying, yeah, get rid of this stuff. You need to refocus where this company is.
6 games, the 6 games that have been canned have not been announced really. And so there you go. Kay, I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
So what I'm getting from your perspective is you think they're going to take a breather. They were spinning too many plates, and they're going to just like hyper focus on a few properties that they think will drive revenue for them. And they'll create like strong games in which, by the sounds of it, would be their more open world, like their Assassin's Creeds, their Far Cries, that kind of thing. Yeah. I view this as like end times for Ubisoft. I think that if you're canceling 7 projects and one of them being Sands of Time, which would be a moneymaker just on the name alone.
I don't think she saw what the screenshots were of that game. It didn't look that impressive, honestly, at all. Like I said, I think even Craig kind of more said this was not their decision. This was Tencent, because it probably did not look very good. They need to change these things up. I
think they're in deep trouble. There's going to be huge layoffs soon. They're going to find out they've got a lot of redundancies.
That's going to be inevitable.
And they might even start panning off more of those IPs to other companies. I think this is a big bad thing for Ubisoft, and you know what? They deserve it for all the crap that they've done. I don't see this as a positive at all for the company itself. I don't think this is going to be a refocus effort. I think they're using it as an excuse to make it be like...
Well, I think the firing, any layoffs and whatnot are a refocus. Again, they have to clean house.
Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Everyone loves Shadows. Everyone loves what we're doing. Don't worry. But in reality, I think there's going to be huge axing. I think that they're...
Oh, there will be.
I think they're going to be like extinct in the next like 5 years.
I hard disagree. I think that people will look back on this moment right here where they're reallocating. I do think there's going to be cuts. I do think that there will be layoffs.
Huge cuts. Middle management gone.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that listen, when you have an investment of what was it, $1 billion or whatever was put into them by Tencent, like when that money goes in, that money was put in so they could make this change, because Tencent's not going to invest in a company that they don't see returns on, right? And they're putting their money and their business imprint on Ubisoft now, saying, yo, dog, this ain't cutting it. We got to up the quality, and ultimately that quality will ultimately lead to better results.
That's what I think it's headed. Well, I've said it before. I mean, they're just good. They have to get rid of a lot of stuff.
I think people will look back on this day in 3 years from now when these things, when we start.
It's cleaning house. There you go. That's pretty much what I wanted to get across. It's cleaning house.
I honestly think that this will help turn the tide for Ubisoft, as opposed to you thinking that it will ultimately end the company.
I'm so intrigued to see the result because we're so opposite on this news. I just think they're fronting completely, but I see your perspective and I see where you're coming from. It's just, I think Ubisoft has just dug too deep into this, and there's not going to be enough money for them to sustain them.
But again, this is Tencent putting that money in. Again, Craig said this before. This is not Ubisoft's decision. This is Tencent telling them, you need to change this up. If you're gonna, we're putting this much money, you're getting rid of these games. They're most likely gonna say, yeah, you need to fire these people. You need to get rid of these certain people. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if like Tencent says, yeah, you're bringing these developers in. I don't know if they have that power, but like, I don't think like Tencent developers, really have a biasy or any type of these agendas and whatnot. And I honestly would not be surprised if that was if that's intentional. As well,
for them to be able to move forward. And you're canceling 7 projects was the number? That's
yeah,
insane.
6 and 7 delay.
But we don't know how far those projects were. Honestly, if we didn't know what some of those were, they may not have been that far ahead.
6. Yeah, that's insane.
So just as a heads up, as of today, January 21st, 2026, according to published Obsidian, there's already been 850 people laid off in the gaming industry in the last 21 days.
Yeah, and like I said, I think there will be lots of cuts when it comes to Ubisoft. Phoenix, what do you think of this?
That's just it. That's just how gaming is. The gaming industry is now. It's just they're not making as much money. It's making a lot of money, but not enough. At least not enough for all these bloated all these bloated numbers of people who are working on these projects.
This one's kind of hard to say because K historically, I would say, is more accurate, but I'm also leaning toward, I hate to be the fence sitter here, but I kind of am. But Craig, I think, especially with Tencent being in there, I don't see them, I see them wanting them to succeed and not to axe them. So I think these would be moves in order to get everything back on track. I'm kind of in the...
Yeah, they make no money. They make no money on, They make no money on closing down these things, but they know they have, or at least not initially. They might realize they have to get rid of a lot of these things, these projects and whatnot, or just restart them or cancel them, restart them. That's what they're probably doing. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point.
The middle. I'm going to lean more towards Craig on this one, but history is on Kay's side.
Here's the thing. Craig is thinking...
But again, we're going through investment. I still feel like Kay's kind of missing the investment part of Tencent being around.
In a business sense, and I get that too, and I'm trying to pull myself out of that a little bit because the way that me or Craig might work a business and see the scenario they're in and how to fix it, I think there is an opportunity to fix Ubisoft and actually get it to a point where they're highly successful. So I think Craig is looking at it from a perspective of if I were in the shoes of this is what I would do, and this is a signal of this is what they're also doing. But I'm looking at the gaming industry, and there's no patience in the gaming industry, and I think that they're not going to generate enough revenue, and I think Tencent's going to get impatient and be like, we're done, and Ubisoft is just going to disperse all their IPs and be done.
Let me tell you exactly why this was driven by Tencent, right? Tencent, and this lines up perfectly what they said. They said they've been looking at this for the last 2 months, right? Well, Tencent invested you don't invest $1.25 billion into something with the intention of it going belly up, right? So
Tencent's more or less in control of Ubisoft. That has to, that's pretty much is what it is.
Tencent invested $1.25 billion in Vantage Studios. Now, remember, this is the spinoff from Ubisoft here that's going to focus on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six. Okay. The transaction closed November 21st, 2025, 2 months ago. So when this transaction closed and that money was put in, Tencent then came down and said, yo, dog, we own 26% of your company now. We are going to have a say in how this thing runs. And
they have to.
This 1.25 billion.
You don't put that much money and expect to not have a say in how this studio is run. 33%, or was it 30%? Whatever the fuck. Yeah, 26.32%. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
$1 is with the intention, this investment was put in with the intention of letting them float for a little bit longer and focusing on excellence. I think this is going to be a great thing for Ubisoft, personally.
I mean, yeah, maybe, because they're going to, Tencent, a lot of Chinese companies seem more fixated on making quality. I could go into a big conspiracy theory about this, I suppose with DEI and whatnot, but we're not going to get into that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tencent somehow tries to get more into this, tries to get more in a more bigger percentage into Ubisoft, though.
But maybe that's just me being optimistic. But when you have a Chinese company investing that much money, they are not in it for this to fail. And it's not like I don't see them pulling out. Like, let's be real, nothing that Tencent has it invested in has failed. They've been wildly successful, and
yeah, they're gonna have a say, obviously. Like,
think that ultimately this, and people say, well, like, I'm white pilling here or whatever.
I mean, like I said, and what I said before, I would not be surprised if they like start getting buying more stock or more like, I guess, more into Ubisoft, and dare I say even suggest to bring on some of their developers or some developers because again, they're going to be nose to the grind. They're going to get the stuff. They're going to get the job done. They have none of these, I guess, any type of politics or whatever. They're just get to work. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't even know if they even have the ability to do that, but you never know.
This could lead to a golden era for Ubisoft. And I know that's a crazy statement for a lot of people, especially given how hard we've been on
golden era, if not the beginning of the end in terms of within the company. It's going to be a shell of its former self.
On Ubisoft and what a laughing stock they've been, but you can't go much further down than where they're at, right? You can only go up. And I think this is the best course of action for a company.
For their sake, I hope they do.
Personally.
I mean, if they are going to go forward with that, then they're cleaning house completely. There's not enough development skill within this team currently to actually build something of quality. Like, they keep piling on like all these diversity incentives and everything. There are people that don't know how to do proper work in that company anymore. So I think that they would completely wreck house. They would clean everything out, and it wouldn't be the Ubisoft that we know of today or that we've known for the past 10 years if they do succeed. So is that even really still Ubisoft at this point? I don't know. It's really just, will the
in name, it probably in name only, or it could be a wake up call for some of these developers that they need the people that work at there. They need to get to work. They need to drop all the identity politics and crap and just do a fucking job. Finish the goddamn game.
name survive or not at this point, and I'm in the camp of no. It makes more sense to disperse things and just get your money from the IPs themselves rather than actually trying to fix the team.
Well,
quick question for Kay. Can I ask for?
Yeah.
Kay, let's assume you're right. What's your timeline for them?
I think within 5 years. I think that's even being generous. I think it's be less than that. The world moves a lot faster now. I'm being very gracious with that timeline. I think within 5 years, but probably more like 2.
I think within that timeline, Ubisoft won't go away, but like I said, Tencent could probably get their own developers within those teams, and so it's kind of essentially eaten with it. The company is eaten within its side. They probably still keep the name because, despite what you may think, Ubisoft does have some like, what's it called? I guess some value in its name, but that team is no longer the team that is now.
I very much disagree, but I understand the pessimism associated with it. I think when it goes to, you say, like, will the Ubisoft team be the same? No, it won't, right?
No.
But look at any sort of video game company, or let's just use a sports team as an example.
That is true, actually, because even like BioWare is completely not even the same. A lot of these developers do not have the same people. The people who made Fable's made by Lionhead. I don't even think Lionhead's even around anymore. But yeah, so
right. Very rarely do you see the same player, even star players, stay with the same team for
always
so
rotating.
long. But the company,
out.
the team, still continues on, right? Ultimately, people are cogs in the machine. I've said this many, many times. Look, I'm replaceable. Phoenix is replaceable. Blabs, everybody is replaceable, right? That's just the reality of it.
I agree with this to an extent. But some are harder to replace than others. You know, you'd be hard. And I think that's the biggest problem with Ubisoft. They don't have people who are hard to really replace. Nintendo has like your Miyamotos. They don't have a Miyamoto there. They don't have a Kojima or any of those people at all. I think maybe the closest at the point was Michael Ansa, who created Rayman. He could have been the closest thing to being replaced, but he's not even there. He lived like in 2020, I believe. Yeah, so Ubisoft doesn't really have any type of superstar developers in there. So a lot of those people, again, could just all be shit canned.
In a company the size of Ubisoft, cogs will be replaced. Even the CEO will be replaced at a certain point. We see that with Disney. Disney's CEO is going to be replaced.
Nintendo.
Like Walt Disney, ultimately, people will argue he wasn't, but he was replaceable because the company has continued and grown into this multi-billion-dollar company, one of the biggest companies in the world since Walt Disney died.
But again, like I said, some are harder to replace than others. Like even Disney probably wasn't that easy. They still had to find their footing.
Right? His ideas were meant to be the core of the company, but he was a cog in what he created. And that's just the cold, hard truth of the whole thing. And I think this allows you to put better cogs to be a part of the machine and ultimately create better games, which is what they're looking to sell. So,
and I don't disagree with you. I think that it would be a positive for them to completely replace everybody that's there. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some people that fall through the cracks, and it always upsets me because there are a lot of people in the gaming industry that unfortunately have these big corporate heads over them that have an idea and they get lumped in with that, even though they actually want to build good stuff. They don't care about any of this crap that's being pushed. They're being vocal within their own companies, but they're still, at the end of the day, being squashed and having to deal with whatever just to make a career in the industry so they can eventually make something good. So I always feel awful when there's layoffs because there are a lot of people in the gaming industry that genuinely care and are just stuck in these shitty positions.
If they're good enough, and chances are they are, I will not be surprised that those good developers will find more jobs. It's not easy, but they will. They just got to keep at it. If they are good enough, they will definitely find a place again in the industry
to make the games. But at the end of the day, there is going to be a cleaning of house if they survive, and I think it is a good thing. They need to have better talent because Ubisoft has some of the best IPs within their portfolio. There's a lot of money sitting there.
I'm sure there are. I just can't think of any. Like Prince of Persia, well, Splinter Cell, a lot of the Tom Clancy games. That's kind of its own little thing. Rayman. I wish they would have made another Zombie U, but never. I guess they are. I just don't. I'm not super into Ubisoft games. I'm like Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six. Those were fun games.
And that's just why my brain goes to send it to companies who could do a better job instead of trying to now put all of the hiring efforts into finding the right people to build those things. It's extremely expensive to overhaul and find new talent, test out that talent, then have that talent be gone, find new people. It's a really expensive process as well.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Tencent or anybody is now wants to push. So you never know. That could definitely happen.
So you might make more selling off the IPs.
Well, I'll say this,
well, I wouldn't say selling off the IPs, just having other developers do it for you, even indie developers or smaller teams.
Look at the chat. I posted a poll. Am I wrong? Right, and a lot of people are saying I am wrong. And
I don't.
Here's the beautiful thing about it is we'll see in about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see in about 3 years.
I don't think Craig is wrong.
We'll talk about it then.
At least not to a complete extent. I mean, it could be. I don't think he's wrong in that this is going to help the company, but I do feel like it is going to get rid of a lot of developers within that company. If not, they're going to be replacing with other people, or they're going to most likely just start giving these IPs, or at least licensing them, or letting smaller developers maybe making games for these IPs. At least that's what I think.
And I'll be able to look back at this poll and be like, hey.
At the worst, I think Ubisoft is mostly going to be eaten with from inside, and it's going to be a shell of its former self in terms of, developers.
you idiots, I was right, or whatever.
Yeah, suck it.
Or hey, I was a dum dum, and if I was wrong, hey, it's the day that ends in Y.
I don't think your perspective is dumb though at all. It's really just looking at it in a business perspective and going, there is potential to actually make this work, and you hope that the business is also thinking in that way. So
You gotta give it time.
I see the vision that you do, that it is possible. I just don't believe that they would be capable. That's it.
Well, I guess we'll find out together, won't we?
Yeah.
Yay! All right.
And like I said, I don't think this is a lot of this is Ubisoft's call on their own. It's Tencent, and Tencent's probably making these calls. But yeah, only time will tell. Anyway, let's go to this. Yeah, this is really old news, but Kathleen Kennedy, she is leaving she's leaving Lucasfilm, and she is going to being passed down by some other lady. I forgot her name. They mentioned her, but I guess she's going to be more on the business side, but also namely Dave Filoni is also taking over. Maybe at some point that would have been like a really, really great thing. I probably would have been a lot happy. Honestly, I don't really care. I've been so detached from Star Wars in terms of anything that's new. I just don't fucking care. It is a smoldering corpse. It is the Malachor 5 of, well, if you know what Malachor 5 is, you'll understand. It is just a husk. It's no longer. It's completely hollowed out from what it used to be. But let's look at Kathleen Kennedy's where she came from. Aside, I'm pretty sure there's more than just she was the assistant to George Lucas and whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, Critical Drinker, the Crash and Burn, the Kathleen Kennedy story.
Kathleen Kennedy. If ever there was a name synonymous with the destruction of pop culture franchises, the humiliation of beloved legacy characters, creative mismanagement, missed opportunities, and the unwelcome injection of the message into modern entertainment, it's this one woman. Yeah, other people have arguably committed worse crimes against cinema, but Kennedy did it first and
Very obnoxious, but very obnoxious asshole, and I'm so fucking glad. He's most likely never getting his trilogy. He had no respect for this fucking franchise at all, and no amount of him gaslighting Rian Johnson, gaslighting that Empire Strikes Back was hated when it first came out. You're full of shit. I'm sorry, you don't win. What was it, like 3 multiple People's Choice Awards? The award that's actually decided by the people, and you don't get released. I believe it was like 2 times. This was before these special editions. When you are hated. No, people did not hate Empire Strikes Back then. They actually had people discussing the movie. One is like, when Han and Leia kissed, people were like, well, what about Luke? Obviously this is before people knew, Luke and Leia were siblings, but that was a big thing. And also, like, was Vader telling the truth when he told Luke that he was his father? Like, this stuff was, people were discussing it. Because that's what a good story does. That's what a good movie does. It has people talking and discussing plot points and whatnot. Not in a critical way, but in terms of what's going on. But no, people hated that. Fuck you, Rian Johnson. You're an ass.
Biggest. And now that she's finally, officially, definitively stepped down as president of Lucasfilm, to the relief of literally dozens of Star Wars fans that are still invested, and beginning her extended walk into the wilderness of retirement.
I don't know how anybody can be so invested in this fucking series unless you're like one of these content creators where that's kind of your financial incentive to be interested in Star Wars. I don't get it.
It seems like the right time to make what I hope will be my last ever video on this subject. Because if anyone deserves a crash and burn, it's her. Not so much because she nuked her own career and torched her own legacy. We'll get to that in due course, though.
Yes.
But because she managed to burn...
Sorry, God damn it. I see that and I want to... God damn it.
Down literally everything around her, leaving a trail of devastated IPs in her wake, while somehow holding on to power as head of one of the biggest studios in the business.
I mean, there are a lot of people just theorize that she has something on somebody, and I'm kind of inclined to believe it.
Perhaps the greatest example of failing upwards that Hollywood's ever seen. And believe me, it's seen a lot. So grab your bargain bin Rey Skywalker action figure and let's embark on Crash and Burn, the Kathleen Kennedy story.
Barely 1 minute in, and I'm still kind of talking about I'm talking over this video. Sorry, guys.
Kennedy was born in 1953 in Berkeley, California, one of 3 daughters of Donald Kennedy, a judge, and Dionne Marie, a part-time theater actress. After majoring in telecommunications and film studies at university, she soon found work at a local TV station in San Diego as a camera operator, floor manager, and eventually a production coordinator. It was clear though that if she wanted to progress in the business, she'd have to move to LA, which she did in 1978, and soon landed her first job as a production assistant to John Milius, who at the time was overseeing Steven Spielberg's troubled comedy movie 1941. Basically, her job was to take notes, run errands, and make coffee. 3 things that she was spectacularly bad at.
I remember Kathy came into the room with her steno pad and her pencil, and she was horrible at taking notes, and she was terrible at, she didn't really know how to do it very well. But what she did know how to do was interrupt somebody in mid-sentence. We'd be pitching ideas back and forth, and Kathy, who's supposed to be writing these ideas down, suddenly put her pencil down and would say something like, and what if he didn't get the girl, but instead he got the dog?
Wow. I never heard that. Jesus. Holy crap, from Steven Spielberg himself. What the Oh my god, the people who keep fucking trying to act like I forgot who, some jackass on Twitter fucking tried to make it seem like, oh, she helped make Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark and shit, mother. And you have fucking Steven Spielberg telling her that she can't fucking even take notes correctly. She just kind of fucking makes these most stupid ass decisions. Jesus, that's fucking hilarious. Sorry. Oh, that's good.
Right.
Spielberg, though, for whatever reason, took a liking to her and hired her as his personal assistant for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, she might have been shit at taking notes, but to her credit, she was organised, diligent and efficient, able to solve problems and mediate disagreements. She soon rose through the ranks to become an associate producer on Poltergeist, and finally a full-on producer for E.T. in 1982. Not
Producer credits don't really mean that much, to be honest, though. That can range from just giving money to the production or get coffee. It's amazing that a lot of like producers on Twitter like to fucking make it seem like, oh, I'm a producer for this game, like as if they fucking made it. Funny how your name doesn't turn up in, like, say, directed by, screenplay by, written by, none of that stuff. No. Okay, we know what a producer can do and what not do, and I don't see your name on any of those crap. Because I remember, like, specifically with some jackass producer for Detective Pikachu was getting all pissy about this stuff, and he made it seem like, oh, like, I'm the producer. He was spurging about something. He's like, oh, well, and talking like, oh, like, anyone who was disagreeing with him, he was blocking them. Like, oh, like, congratulations, the producer for Detective Pikachu hates you. It's like, motherfucker, you were like a lawyer. That's it. That was your whole fucking thing. All you contributed in terms of to get your producer credits. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's why I fucking hate Hollywood so much too, especially on social media, because they think you're fucking stupid. They think we don't know what the hell you do. Like, it's the internet. We have information now. It's a vast sea of information. We now know the extent of a producer and what they can do and what they can't do.
bad for a 29-year-old. The pattern for her career was now set, and she would act as producer for nearly all of Spielberg's movies for the next 30 years. She wasn't what you would call a creative person because she didn't really need to be. Her job was to facilitate other people's creative visions, organise logistics, overcome all the problems and hurdles that cropped up along the way. It might not have been sexy or exciting work, it wasn't the sort of thing the general public ever got to see, but it was important and it won her a lot of respect in the industry. She was a project manager basically, and to be fair, she was good at it. Her work on the Indiana Jones movies also brought her into the orbit of two other men who would turn out to be cornerstones of her career, George Lucas and Frank Marshall. In the case of the
I can respect, that section, but obviously she's not creative.
First, man, they became close colleagues and friends and stayed that way for decades. Maybe not so much today, though. And in the case of the latter, they were married by 1987. As you can probably imagine, having close personal relationships with three of the most powerful and respected men in the business did wonders for her career, and by the mid-90s, she was regarded as one of the most influential producers in the industry. She even co-founded Amblin Entertainment with Spielberg and the Kennedy Marshall production company with her husbands. All good stuff, and if she'd continued on this course of producing and overseeing individual movies, she probably would have had a stellar career and retired as the single most successful female producer ever. As it turned out though, fate had other plans for Kathleen Kennedy. Remember George Lucas that she'd befriended back in the 1980s? Well, by 2012 he was getting old and burned out after making the Star Wars prequels and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Disney were offering to buy up Lucasfilm from him, and he was
most likely tired of people bitching about the prequels and how much they hated it.
Much tempted by the offer, but what he really needed was a safe pair of hands to leave the company in. And from his point of view, Kennedy seemed like the perfect choice. He knew her personally, he trusted her, and when it came to experience, there was nobody who could rival her. So
he may not have thought that she was also going to really try to be very hands-on in these. He probably thought she was going to just, essentially do what she did and just kind of be the sort of the mediator with some of these decisions and whatnot.
So in late 2012, the deal was done. Disney bought over Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy was installed as president of the company. A move that few people took issue with at the time. That, however, would soon change. Things started out well, at least. J.J. Abrams, arguably the safest pair of hands in the business at the time, delivered a massive box office hit with The Force Awakens.
We'll get into his writing tomorrow. I'll talk about that next time, but god damn it. I can't stand his writing. Yeah, I guess he could say he was safe. Well, if my safe, I mean, he had notoriety. People still watched his movies. I still firmly say, like I've said before, my little Star Wars joke for any people who are who actually were very well versed in the Star Wars universe, The Force Awakens was my Malachor 5. It's essentially my turning point where I essentially just cut myself off from the fandom because I hated this fucking movie. I remember the fucking moment I saw this movie when I saw Rey use a fucking Jedi mind trick and I knew she was going to do it. In the back of my head, I'm like, no, you don't know how to do that. You had no concept of the Force. How are you using this? And I just, yeah, that was it for me. I was like, I hate this movie. It baffled me that people were fucking jerking this movie off and say, oh my God, Star Wars is back. Fuck off. Ugh, Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm reliving it all. Anyway, let's keep going.
The first movie in a new Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, it was just a glorified nostalgia trip and a thinly disguised rehash of A New Hope, but who cares? Star Wars was back, baby, and it was bigger than ever. The following year, Rogue One proved that Star Wars could release spin-offs and prequels to the main story that were still financially viable, allowing them to potentially kickstart an entire cinematic universe just like the MCU.
I didn't hate Rogue One, but then rewatching it in retrospect, I'm like, they got me. They got me with the fucking member berries. Which is amazing, because there were people who out there, like Hello Greedo or something, like, oh, he didn't like this one that much. But it had member berries, but motherfucker, The Force Awakens had member berries too, but you fucking said like, oh, Star Wars is back. It's amazing. Ugh.
Unfortunately, the good times weren't to last. See, going from producer on specific film projects where you have very clearly defined tasks, objectives and responsibilities to head of an entire studio that was centered around one man's creative vision is a pretty big leap that demands a whole new set of skills.
It also requires you to have a fucking cohesive narrative between all three movies, and you didn't fucking do that. You played hot potato with the plot, and that's why it seems so disjointed. And that's how you get crap like The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker that seem almost completely independent of themselves. They don't connect. They connect, but like very thinly.
Skills that Kathleen Kennedy absolutely didn't have. What she needed was a strong creative vision for where she wanted to take the franchise and how she was going to get it there. She needed to plan and map out release schedules for multiple films with directors and writers that were actually suited to the projects in hand. She needed to keep people on track, monitor progress, and juggle multiple projects at the same time. She needed to be a leader now, not a facilitator. And this is where it all started to go wrong. Kennedy had hired up-and-coming director Rian Johnson to write and direct The Last Jedi, the second movie in the sequel trilogy. Unlike JJ though, who was all about nostalgia and fan service, Rian was determined to shake things up and subvert fan expectations, not live up to them.
Which is really fucking stupid when you do that with something like Star Wars. He should never be, ever, in charge of any franchise, ever. Because he will not go by the rules. And I'm sorry, if you're going to fucking go, if you're going to be in charge of a franchise in any way, you're going to helm, or you need to keep the fans in consideration. Yeah, it's not an easy task to facilitate to fans, but you have to at least make the effort. And you have to really, really delve deep into the lore. He did not fucking care.
And boy did he ever, throwing out JJ
massively disrespectful.
His proposed ideas for the sequel, killing off most of his plot threads, and completely going into business for himself. Now, George Lucas probably would have stepped in at this point and told him he was being a fucking idiot, but the lack of a strong overarching plan for the sequels, combined with Kennedy's attitude of, just let them get on with it, ultimately doomed the movie. TLJ turned out to be the most divisive Star Wars film of all time.
It's amazing that people fucking say this, they like this movie, but they really can't give me any actual reasons as to why they like this movie. Yeah, it made a lot of movie, but it's like, you don't really see the true results of these fuck-ups until after those subsequent films. Case in point, Solo. Although Solo never looked good to begin with. And then Rise of Skywalker, which apparently did not make, if I'm not mistaken, did not make as much as The Last Jedi. And it's been going downhill ever since.
Completely splitting the fan base into warring factions and bringing in barely half of what Force Awakens had made. Worse, it introduced identity and gender politics into Star Wars in a way that had never existed before. And believe me, this was intentional. One of Kennedy's goals with Star Wars was to increase female representation on screen, in the belief that not only would the franchise retain the inbuilt male audience, they'd also attract a brand new female audience that had been put off until now.
And when you do this, you end up alienating the people who got you here, which is the stupidest fucking thing. I don't like. There were female Star Wars fans. There are female Star Wars fans long before she ever took over. And she did it in such a ham-fisted way that basically, in turn, made the male characters worse. She made, I guess, strong female characters very shallow and paper thin in terms of character, but in turn you made male characters, especially legacy characters, progressively worse, thus completely cutting off most of the male fan base that essentially grew up with this franchise. And they're not, they're gonna complain, but they're also just gonna walk away, particularly ones that don't, that aren't content creators, at least content creators that focus on, talking about this crap.
A modern audience, you might say. The devil, though, is in the detail, and no idea can survive bad execution. Suddenly, people were hyper-aware of overpowered, overbearing girl boss characters like Rey, Holdo, and Rose Tico, and they didn't like them.
They're fucking horrible, and of course this stupid shit.
Kennedy's decision to take part in the Force's female campaign for Nike in 2017, combined with her obvious feminist sensibilities, instantly put her in the firing line. For most detractors of the sequel trilogy, she became the big bad of Star Wars, an unqualified diversity hire promoted to a job she didn't earn, presiding over a franchise she didn't.
I can't necessarily say she didn't earn it, she just fucking didn't. She didn't approach it properly.
Build, and killing everyone's fun by populating it with annoying, unlikable self-insert power fantasies. Solo, the next spin-off movie in the Star Wars cinematic universe, bombed in spectacular fashion, partly driven by the ongoing backlash against TLJ.
That and because, the movie sucked. From what I understood, the guy who played Han Solo apparently got acting lessons on the fucking spot. That's not good. And they had a lot of threads that they never fucking really approached. I know there was Darth Maul in it, and they didn't do shit with that. Although that could more be Ray Park. The whole thing with Ray Park and his wife and shit, but I won't get into that.
There would be no more spin-off movies after that.
Thank God.
The great Rian Johnson experiment had failed. The Star Wars cinematic universe was stalled, and now they needed to get back to safer territory for the final movie. J.J. Abrams was coaxed back to tell a story he didn't really want to tell, desperate.
I fucking can't stand his writing because Abrams, he does not finish stuff. He'll start plot threads and he dips and then he lets other people do it. And this is not a very good way to go about things. Like the only thing I think he stayed on through the whole end was the show Felicity, which was about this girl who goes who's supposed to go to Stanford, but she goes to New York instead to try to be an art student because of some guy she likes or she just met. It's stupid, but whatever. But that's the only thing he's kind of saw all the way through. Everything else, like Lost and things like Star Trek, he kind of dipped after most of these, I believe. I think Star Trek. I know a lot of these he just kind of leaves and then just lets anyone else clean up his mess. It's not a very good way of going about writing.
Desperately trying to undo the damage done by TLJ.
But we'll get into that next time.
Only to produce an absolute Frankenstein's monster of a film in Rise of Skywalker. Reviews were terrible, the fans were disgusted, and the film barely cleared $1 billion at the global box office. A far cry from the success of The Force Awakens. With the movie business in tatters, Kennedy and Lucasfilm retreated to TV, where they scored a surprise hit with The Mandalorian, mostly because it had Jon Favreau at the helm.
I was okay with the first season, but it's so difficult to really get into this because any of this Disney crap, because it all goes towards those movies. I can't, it's like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Those events are still gonna fucking happen. It's like, why should I care about any of this stuff that's going on?
The success wasn't to last though, and failures like Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi failed to capitalize on its success. Lucasfilm by this point was rapidly descending into chaos. New Star Wars projects were announced to huge fanfare, only to go nowhere and quietly fizzle out without explanation. By now, Kennedy was raiding the cupboards at Lucasfilm in search of anything she could use to prop the company up. Willow, a 1980s fantasy movie, was brought back in a baffling TV show about a pair of lesbians so disastrously awful that Disney ended up scrubbing it from their servers and memory holing it. To this day, there's no legal way to view it online. Indiana Jones was defrosted for one last adventure, mostly in the hopes of replacing him with a younger female alternative.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It did not pay off for them. It was awful when movies like Crystal Skull seem massively better. You know you fucked up. At least I would argue. Because at least, you know what? You can say what you want about the Crystal Skull. At least it had a nice ending. You know, Indy got to be with Marion. Even like in the end, like when he, what's his name? Shia LaBeouf, but Shia LaBeouf's character, tries to take the hat and then Indy just takes it, like, nope. That's a pretty good ending. Although obviously Last Crusade is probably the best, but it's like, because Last Crusade, it's very much, obviously much more appropriate ending because Indiana Jones is very much in the vein of old serials like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and stuff like that, where there wasn't really a definitive ending. It's like, it's not like that. Indy's not going away or not. Indy's not, he's not ending his adventure. He's just going to take a rest to get ready for a next adventure. And that's what I liked about Indiana Jones, at least the first 3. But I would argue if I had to pick a definitive ending between, I forgot what the last one, the newer one was called, and Crystal Skull would have been a much more better ending.
It didn't work, and despite massively expensive reshoots to try to fix it, the movie flopped at the box office. The biggest humiliation for Kennedy was yet to come, though. The Acolyte, a show that will live in Star Wars infamy as long as Hollywood exists. A pair of strong, diverse female leads.
Oh, God. Fucking such an obnoxious fucking lead, too. with that stupid little diss track. Like, there has to... Studios need to start putting stuff in their contract to not antagonize an audience or get off social media, because this shit ain't helping. God damn. And of everything, you took off Willow, but well, I guess you could take off Willow off your streaming service, because you know who the fuck really remembers Willow. But you kept the Acolyte. Great job, guys.
Lesbian space witches, weak men getting humiliated. It was all there, and it was all terrible. And in a way, it represents the final form of Kennedy's vision for Star Wars, and it was utterly eviscerated by everyone. The backlash was so bad that even Disney had to step in and promise not to make any more. Now, if you're spotting a theme here of Kennedy resurrecting old IPs and using them as a launchpad for diverse new girl boss replacements, then believe me, you're not alone.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
There we go.
She'd gambled some of the biggest franchises in Hollywood history on the modern audience, and wow, did she lose big. To paraphrase Chris Gore...
Well, to be fair, it's not her... I mean, of course she was going to keep doing this. I know I said it before, but, you know, she had to have something on somebody. She just had to. But also, it wasn't her money to lose.
She took boy brands that everyone could enjoy and turned them into girl brands that nobody enjoyed. Men felt excluded and disrespected, and women felt patronized and pandered to. The modern audience had failed to show up, and the existing audience was abandoning ship. Kennedy's greatest gamble had failed, and inevitably, it all finally caught up with her.
You appeal to an audience that doesn't really spend that much money, or if they do, it's a very, very, very small number that you are never going to get your money back on.
For years, there had been rumors of her retirement, false starts, and conspiracy theories, but one thing was obvious. Kennedy wasn't going anywhere until she was damn well good and ready. And on January 15th, the day finally came. Kathleen Kennedy was stepping down as president of Lucasfilm. You might have expected joyous celebrations at news like this, but the reaction was more like an exhausted acknowledgement from the fans. After all, what was really left to celebrate at this point? She was gone, sure, but she left behind her a studio in absolute shambles, all of its IPs drained of their goodwill and cultural reputation. There was nothing left to save from her because she'd nuked all of it. And now that the dust is settled and...
The fucking vampire. Just leaving them all there. At least, you know what? I can't even say a vampire, because at least vampires can have the potential to bring back these franchises into, well, vampires themselves. No. They're just empty fucking husk. They really turned hero journey adventure villains into just action, action, and more action. Well, one, hey, Torch. Not even that. No, they just turned it into, hey, what they did in South Park. Put a chick in it. Make her gay. Make her undermine all the male characters, even the legacy characters. Appeal it to, like a Trick Drinker said, appeal it to an audience that does not, that really doesn't spend that much money on these franchises and alienate the people who got you here. Congrats.
When all is said and done, how will posterity judge Kathleen Kennedy? Will she be remembered as one of the greatest producers in Hollywood history, or the woman who oversaw the biggest act of brand destruction the industry's ever seen? She'll certainly do her best to rewrite the narrative in her favor, that's for sure. Like,
oh, people are already doing it now on Twitter.
The lengthy interview with Deadline, where she focused entirely on her successes and dismissed her failures and mistakes as someone else's fault.
Oh, and of course, what was it that she made the whole fucking thing like, oh, it's hard to write Star Wars film because we don't have any other sources when you have the fucking expanded universe. That's the depth of her knowledge of Star Wars.
Mostly the small but vocal minority of toxic Star Wars fans who just couldn't see her brilliance.
Really?
Yeah, sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, Kathy. You know, for someone who's all about breaking barriers and challenging female stereotypes, she's not exactly dispelling the myth that women are more averse to accountability, self-reflection, and owning their mistakes than Movie Bob is to a treadmill. Times have changed now, and paid shills and industry trades don't write the narrative on Hollywood legacies anymore. The internet does. And unfortunately for Kathleen Kennedy, the internet never forgets.
And it's not on her side.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
The only way they can really I guess, salvage anything that's from Star Wars is it needs to be put in stasis for a good maybe decade. I don't think this generation really deserves Star Wars at this point. You know, it is the hero's journey. I don't know. I don't think this generation of writers can write a Star Wars film. There has to be some type of flaws. They don't look at what inspired Star Wars. They don't look at stuff like the old samurai films, old serials. They don't understand that type of writing. They are afraid to make mistakes. They're afraid to give flaws to females and minority characters. They don't want to make people human. But maybe in time we can. I mean, and personally, I'd say nuke the whole fucking Disney canon. I mean, they're not going to do it. I know they won't. Or at the very least, maybe kind of have more movies set in the expanded universe and just disregard. You don't have to decanonize the Disney one. Just say, we're going to start focusing more movies or more IP, more projects within the expanded universe. But you need somebody who has to read that stuff. I know Filoni knows stuff about that. And I know clearly. And even Sam Witwer, I don't know if he's done any writing. So maybe get some of them to start, making stories within that. But I don't know. But right now, I think it is best, all in all, that Star Wars just goes away for a while. Anyway, I am going to, let me switch out scenes. There we go. We'll be right back. Oh, yeah, great. Okay. I didn't realize Pathologic had fucking an update. Great, thank you. That's nice. Okay, well, anyway, I will be right back anyway. By the time it loads up, I'll be back. So yeah. Just give me a moment. 30%. Good God. It's still like at 32. I didn't know this. They had an update. I didn't really feel like they were going to ever update. There was going to be an update for Pathologic. I don't know. Like what exactly needed to be updated? Let me see if there's anything we can watch at least until the stupid thing updates. Has been a very scuffed stream. Like I holy crap. OBS was like acting weird. For some reason my soundboard was also not being recognized. I had to unplug it and everything like 15 minutes before stream and everything. Because God forbid I think everything be up to par. What the hell can we watch? I didn't even realize there was a Oh, there's like nothing here. I did not plan on this happening, to be honest. I kind of wish it would let you play the damn game too. Like even without the patches, or because Jesus. Let me see. Where is it? I had to restart my computer too. So everything's kind of ran a little slower because I have not. Oh, it's patching it now. It's just it downloaded it. It just didn't patch it up. Really wish Steam would just kind of patch it the second that it shows up. God damn. And it's like nothing here. I can't really, at least not now. Some of this I want to save on my playlist. I only put like maybe 4 things here because I did not. I think I went through some of this stuff I was going to talk about tomorrow, and it's like it's kind of long. So, how long is it? Where is it now? 59. Good God. Close that out anyway. Jeez Christ. Okay, it's going very, very slowly. What's going on here? You know what? Let's watch this, I guess, real quick. Let's go back. It work? Okay. I did look at some of this stuff about Fable. Not so much a lot. Well, I didn't watch the Direct. I didn't even know there was a Microsoft Direct, but apparently there is a new... They added a create a character feature. Apparently it's their presets, though, so obviously it was very last minute, most likely from the backlash of, you know, having this character. But, well, wow. They apparently, let's see, why new Fable ditched this mechanic from old games? What is this?
Unlike the old Fable games, you won't start growing horns if you make evil decisions in the new Fable. That's
That
because
sucks.
morality here isn't black and white. While
Stupid.
most games with a morality system boil decisions down to bad or good, Fable's definitions of bad and good differs across all 1,000 NPCs in the game.
That sounds like very lazy. You just didn't want to.
Every single one of them has
You just didn't want to make a choice.
been designed to have different personalities, worldviews, and what they view as right and wrong. For instance, you could turn into a greedy, rich asshole landlord, and a lot of townsfolk will think you're evil.
Yeah, we get it. You're rich.
But there could be others that don't think it's too
I don't like this art style. I really miss the old one. This looks too boringly realistic.
bad. Playground Games chief Ralph Fulton told us that the NPCs serve as a, quote, sort of Greek chorus if you like, reflecting your choices and your morality back at you. Furthermore, they wanted your reputation to be based on your actions, not what you look like. Previously, if you were
Well, your actions are, you look like that based on your actions. Like if you're good, you get like a little halo over your head. If you're bad, yeah, then you start to grow horns. What the fuck are you talking about? I like the Fable games. There's a lot of this stuff I've been seeing. It looks like it was very last minute, and it's not convincing me otherwise.
acting evil, everyone would immediately treat you as a villain because you look that way, even if they
Well, they don't really get mad at you. They just kind of get afraid of you, but they'll still work with you at times.
didn't know what
This game was not that deep, despite what Peter Molyneux tried to make it as. It wasn't as in-depth as it probably could have been, or at least not as he promised.
you've done. But in the new Fable, if you're acting like a twat in one town but head over to a new town where no one knows you yet, you can redefine yourself to the townsfolk there.
But that's... They react to you in certain ways because they hear about you. You're supposed to gain notoriety. That's the whole point of this.
Kind of like moving to a new school and starting with a clean slate. There's probably going to be some objectively evil actions that all of the townsfolk will react negatively to, but the important thing to note here is that as long as the NPC hasn't heard about your evil deeds yet, they'll treat you just fine. What are your thoughts about these changes in Fable? Let us know.
It's lazy. That's why. Because they couldn't... Because they just last minute implemented it. They probably never even had like any of that type of like... any type of morality or having a reputation and shit like that. I would not be surprised. This done? Okay, we're almost done. Thank God. Come on, you're at 99%, please. It's like 46. Jesus, come on. And the cloud, of course. Gonna play? Yes, no. Nothing. There we go. It's just not showing up on the screen. Still there. There we go. But the sound isn't playing. Because of course it isn't. Oh, I love OBS so much. Alright, continue. I have no idea how far I am in the game. I know, again, it's like some playthroughs go around 6 hours. I was playing this for like 5, so clearly I'm pretty sure I'm not even close to halfway through. Alright, so what am I doing here today? I forgot what to do now. Past Shades the future. I need to find a mechanical clock to restart time. Sounds easy. As easy as anything else I've done in this town. Yep. Alright. It's locked. Ooh. Oh, shit. Was I supposed to do that? I feel like this game isn't it's not horrifically optimized, it's just not very well optimized. I don't know. I feel like a lot of this loading and like, you know, it does freeze like every now and then when you clearly it's loading something in. It's pretty noticeable. Not bad, it's just, you know, small little things, and I always get freaked out when they take as long to load. Especially where you get the game like this that doesn't seem that graphically impressive or graphically demanding. Hello. Keep that down a little bit. I accidentally go back over there. It hit a clock, right? So I can restart time. Oh. All right. Hello there. Femme Fatalist. Yulina Lorlicheva, the Fatalist. She came to the capital with an honor. Oh my god. God damn it. So many words. So many fucking big words. Oh. Retek. Or Wanaretek. Whatever. An organization that one organization that built the western part of the town. Many of the town's oddities can be attributed to them. Yulia immediately struck me as an intelligent, rational, and unhappy person.
An act leads to a habit. A habit leads to a character. A character leads to a conclusion.
Oh, okay. Afraid not. Pity. There are no cigarettes left in town. There's almost nothing left, really, but I miss cigarettes especially. Are you a friend of Ava's? Forgive me, I'm still getting acquainted with the guests of this house. Hundreds of people are dying every day, and you're lamenting cigarettes. Yeah. So you don't remember me. Well, I should have expected that. You're probably best with new demands every minute. I think I'm starting to remember something. Forgive me, you're right. So much is piled up, and everyone wants something from me. I'm Yulia Loracheva. Loracheva. Whatever. 2 days ago, you came to my house, the Trammel, and promised to put in a good word for me with the Canes, to make sure they don't exile me from town. Yes, of course, I remember you. I'm afraid I haven't had the chance to speak to the Canes yet, but I will certainly get around to it. Sounds like me, actually. Usually, I don't make promises I can't keep. Doesn't sound like me. Wow. I guess. I see. You're not in the mood. You're not in the mood, but I thought we had an agreement. I gave you a lead, and you gave me your word. I will have... If I gave it, then I will keep it. Coming to my house to remind me is entirely unnecessary. I'll do it all, I promise. Forgive me for the delay. It's a very difficult time right now. Everything's falling apart. A lead, you say. Interesting. Thank you for reminding me. As awkward as it sounds, it's nice to meet you again. Could you remind me of what else we discussed during our last meeting? We talked about the Honoratek. Let's go with that. Honoratex. You were curious to meet one of them, and you found me. Forgive me, I completely slipped my mind. Honoratex, isn't that a town association of the architects and engineers? The Honoratex were the ones the Canes once lived to design the town of their dreams. When you're young, passionate, and striving for a breakthrough, it's often hard to find the opportunity to realize your ambitious plans. The Canes gave us that opportunity. I shudder to remember those times when I went knocking on doors, hoping to open my own laboratory. Did I detect a note of bitterness in your voice there? Rather bitter irony. We were inspired, but years passed us by. Some fled from here, while others will never flee, because they have been laid to rest in the earth. When I visit the Stillwater, I feel like I'm returning to the time of our hope. After all, it was also built by one of us, the best of us. This is hard for me to explain, but I keep feeling that Stillwater somehow affects me. Beautiful house, but forgive me, nothing more. Well, okay. You already noticed the Stillwater. The Stillwater is the name. Has its name for a reason. It's quiet. It's subtle. Ask yourself how many rooms it has. The question is more interesting than it seems. The answer is either a joke or a gift from the architect. You know, there are thousands of reasons to admire Ava, but the main one is that she's capable of living here. Ava is a mystery to me, more wondrous than the Stillwater. Do you know her well? Let's be honest, the town folk create all the mystique out of provincial boredom. Ava is an ordinary woman, living in an ordinary large house. You know her well. Everyone in the Onotech loved her. She was, for us, a tuning fork, the best, most sensitive audience, a canary in the mine. No university can teach what she knows, even if the town dies, and with it, all our works. I'm happy that Ava saw them. To keep the town from dying, I must take my leave, but thank you for the conversation. I'll be happy if Ava sees my victory over the plague after all, rather than defeat. You're interested in conversationalist. You're an interesting conversationalist, Yulia. Now I certainly remember your request about Kane, and I'll do everything in my power to fulfill it. Alright. Ava's friend is waiting for me in the Stillwater living room. Yeah, dead end again. Deeply offended the Canes in the past, and now they refuse to speak with me. If only I could replay it all. Oh, okay, so it is in here. Okay.
An act leads to a habit. A habit leads to a character. A character leads to a conclusion.
Oh, I'm just more surprised her mouth is moving. I don't know why. I didn't think it would. Makes medicines. Oh, can I? Did I make anything? What did I make? Oh, whatever. Nutshells, marbles. Goes and look at the world through them and see it upside down, as if they're filming the cinema. All right, we'll take it. Oh wait. I do not have it. Okay. Locked. Alright. Guess upstairs. Yes. Ava Yan, canary in a cage. The Stillwater is a failed observatory converted into a guest house. One day, Ava Yan just moved in. She was never chased out because, according to locals, the Stillwater changes people in strange ways, and someone must bear its attention. When I arrived, they already arranged a room for me in the Stillwater. I saw Ava every day. She almost never went outside.
If only I could leave this place and go far away.
You're back. That's good. You'll sleep much more soundly in the Stillwater than the prison cell. Simon had a good reason to arrange for you to stay here. Good reason, you say. Tell me. This long case clock how long has it been here? I've been living here for 5 days, but I still haven't settled in. Every time I see this house, it's like the first time again. Is there a mirrored room in the Stillwater? Try this one. That's natural. The Stillwater is one of those houses meant to twist the soul. People almost always feel strange and uncomfortable here. If you get used to it, that could be good. It could be, that's not so good. Twist the soul? You'll understand later, but why are you staring at the clock like that, as if it's hypnotizing you? You're the second person today to talk to me about clocks. Who's the first? The dead man, the thespian, the man of fear. Dead man? I can never tell if you're joking or serious. I'm trying to figure out what kind of place Stillwater is. I can't tell myself. Those who live in the Stillwater can get things muddled in their heads, but you shouldn't blame everything on the house. It's unusual, certainly, and built with specific intent, but in the end, it's only a building. I've heard a different story. I've heard something isn't right with the house, that people can't stay here for too long. In our little town, there are tall tales about everything under the sun, even toy bulls. Separating truth from fiction is hard, even for the locals. I'm dead tired. I need to sleep. Sleep is death's little brother. Truism. Truism. Now, does that mean that death is sleep's big brother? Who told you that? Yeah, sure. I'm merely quoting the greatest bachelor I'm merely quoting the great bachelor Dunkowski. I said that? I don't believe it. Not one of my best. Don't go to bed while you're still thinking so much about the clock. You won't be able to fall asleep. You're right. I can't get it out of my head. May I take a closer look at the clock? I'll be careful, I promise. Alright. Amalgam. Amalgam is required to recall the past. Amalgam is needed in both of the bachelor's past and the player's past. Loading a save requires payment. It can be obtained by smashing mirrors in a couple of more ways. Which ends abruptly then rest. In which the bell tolls. The bachelor disturbs.
Stifling in this room, isn't it? Hard without a breath of fresh air.
You've been going about the second day. What are you implying exactly? According to our information, there was no plague in the town yet. There was nothing to research besides the Stillwater and the charming mistress. The plague didn't appear out of the blue. The outbreak struck on the third day. But that means it was already brewing on the second. The authorities were aware of the plague on the second day. I tried to warn the governor. What are you insinuating? What does the mistress of the Stillwater have to do with anything? Let's see. We stuck on the third day, but that means it was already brewing on the second. How can you be sure of that? In fact, here's reports from your own hand. The latent stage lasts 5 to 8 hours. The town can still clean on the second day. That's not my handwriting. The report is correct about the latent stage, but the town wasn't clean. I cannot possibly know whether the town was clean. You cannot possibly know if the town was clean on the second day or not. You hadn't opened the hospital yet. You understood nothing about the stand plague. And pardon my frankness, but I'm not interested in your hypothesis or speculations. I need facts. I did open the hospital on the third day. Why don't you tell me again? Tell me about that then, and then we'll see if there's any merit to your musings about the genesis of the plague. I'll hold your word to that, Inspector. The third day it is then. If you just let me tell the story and how I see fit, we'll settle this matter soon.
So we have a little loop here with an overcast stitch, as it were. Or a noose.
You are, I beg your pardon, trying to deceive me time and again. Sure, enough it isn't in my power to forbid you lying, era human est. And one can also, shall we say, be mistaken with no ill intent, but as far as a formal logic is concerned, you are constantly feeding me something that can only be described as falsehoods. I never lie. Everyone lies. You too are lying to me right now. You know Latin, of course. They teach it in law school. What do we have next? Day 3, the crucial one, the day the town elites were to appoint a health inspector general, the person to lead the fight against the epidemic. You were absent. There was no such position as health inspector general, and it sounds ridiculous. My office in this town was that of a chance visitor. Can you comprehend that? Or are you willing to admit that my invitation was orchestrated? That's a lie. I took the full burden of responsibility. Do you admit the whole thing with Simon King was nothing but an excuse? They wanted to shut down your lab, and you just shirked your responsibilities, scuttling away to the back and beyond and abandoning your brainchild of your junior colleagues to deal with. The captain was the first to desert the sinking ship. I will never admit that, and putting such nonsense in my mouth is petty, I have to say. Simon King did exist, I'm sure of that. I suspect that Simon King never existed. You're right about that, but I didn't know that at the time. Yeah, you're putting stuff in my mouth. Oh, you're baring your teeth. How cute. Let's say I suspend my disbelief for a moment. You claim you led the emergency command dealing the epidemic, but what about a hospital? Why didn't you open a hospital in this town? I can only explain that as deliberate sabotage. I did open one. That's exactly it. This damn town didn't even have a hospital, and you have the gall to say I haven't done enough to excuse me for not saving people who didn't want to be treated. That's because your goal is not understanding me. Is not understanding me. You're simply trying to make sure the unheard jaws of the law are holding their victims firm and chewing thoroughly. I did open one. According to my information, there was no hospital building in the town. Here, take a look. You're right. There was no dedicated building of a hospital. That's why I opened a rather unexpected location. I'm looking, and I can see you that don't know a damn thing about that. You don't know a damn thing, but still have the audacity to smirk. Disgusting. Who are your mysterious informants? People. They see everything, Dunkovsky. They also lie all the time. That was another discovery I made at the hospital by the way. Where am I? Out today. Where are we? What we've talked about. I can't remember anything. I'll have to go back and learn what dogs had told me before. Yes, so Dogme insists that I've already asked him about the polyhedron. Oh shit, I didn't mean that. Let's see. I wasn't the only one who found Ruben's hideout on this day. The attackers tracked him down and killed him. The fugitive. On the third day, Ruben was hiding in the warehouse. He was planning something, afraid of something. It says that I've already asked him about the polyhedron. That Ruben, my last lead, was killed. The trail of the immortal man is lost. Wasn't the only one who found Ruben's hideout. This day, the attacker tracked him down and killed him. Playing something. He was afraid of something. Alright. Can't remember anything. I'll have to go back and learn. He told me. Alright, let's try that. See what happens. Again, the third day. No mistakes. If I die with no amalgam, death will be final. It's crucial to always have some. In which the bell tolls. Okay, Town Hall Gathering yesterday. Fugitive. So. Rulers in this town are waiting for me in the town hall. And I am where? Okay. Alright, let's go. Yes. Man, all your hopes died on the vine. No capital for us now. The governor is ordered to shut off the track. Quarantine, they say. I came on duty today, and no one was there. You'd think the station had died out. Can it really be the plague? Must be why all of them big people are gathered in the town hall now. Doctor, is that you? Back from the meeting already? You're the doctor, so tell us, please. Will they close the town? They better close it. The disease is extremely contagious. We can't let it spread to other towns. Would be nasty to get stuck here. What meeting? I didn't know anything yet. Okay. So you don't know either? I thought you were one of Cerberov's turned to. The one Cerberov turned to. You should hurry to the town hall then. They'll be lost without you. They're talking about the plague. Everybody who's important. Governor Cerberov, both Olgiminski, Senior and Junior. Junior's in charge of the anti-plague measures, and Kane's our third ruler, always with some ace up their sleeve. I heard they called you too, since you're the doctor from the capital. And as a doctor of the capital, these responsibilities should be mine. Dealing with the issues like these without a doctor is suicide. Oh, thank you. I definitely need to know what these rulers are going to do about the epidemic. And who might you be, may I ask? What brings you to Stillwater? Just, a good place. This calm. People always come here if they need some calm. Ava welcomes them. Our son used moonlight here when he was little, sweeping the chimney. Earned some money for his own studies in the capital that way. He left there later. We come here when we miss him. I thought I'd go visit him in the capital, but then my Pavel says there was a quarantine. Be glad your son is in the capital. At least he's safe from the plague, as long as the quarantine is enforced. Good day. So you're saying the Stillwater can be visited by people who don't live here, even if they're not Ava's guest? Everyone comes here. That's how it's always been. When the Canes were calling builders to the town, they wanted us to have more special houses here. Houses in which, how do you say this? The soul is laboring. That's why people come, even when no one's invited them. So they visit, they're like the hospital or museum. Curious. They forgot to warn me that I'm being housed in a public space. I didn't notice Stillwater influencing me. Curious. Anyway, let's get out of here. Lock. Go to that meeting. Stay for now. Ah, crap. Tragedium. Mirrors and coffins are all too alike. One ill-timed glance, and they'll trap you inside. What's wrong with looking into a mirror and seeing myself in it? That's the point of mirrors. I'm in no hurry to get inside my coffin. Being caught on your own reflection. Narcissism, you mean? Plain things will often catch reflections for much more intriguing ones. If your visage keeps turning up, reflected everywhere, perhaps that means there's more for you to see. Seraphima always says your life is interesting if you can see the unusual in the mundane. If you keep seeing yourself in everything, then you're blind to reality. It strains belief, but you still must believe the flow of time inside your town is not at all like what you know. It is fluid, it seeps, it leaks, and it must swim. So you have alternative physics here too? I have this odd feeling that I know what happened in the future, as if the future was, instead will be. As if the future was, instead will be. Okay. It happens in small towns. One life seems to flow, but no one knows where it goes. And if time flows, then you may bottle it like blood, or dew, or tears. You keep it for a rainless day and spend it when you must. Seems logical? As logical as a metaphor can be, but I'm still missing your point. Stock up on time on idle evenings, then spend it all when a report comes in and work piles up. I shouldn't say no to that, if it is possible, of course. So what can I spend it on? Seems logical, or logical metaphor can, as logical as a metaphor can be, but I'm still missing the point. If you had such a cache of liquid time, you could move across days to find yourself at the right time, in the right place, much like you did just now, Signir. Then I could correct my mistakes, of course. Indeed, if you could handle it, Signor, I guess. What need have you to put your mind in chains? Do you believe the dead men can one day be brought to life anew? We don't understand how death works, but we do understand how time works, and it's not the way you describe. Sounds good. Sounds too good to be true. I smell a catch. Oh shit! Which one did I put? Just think of it like as Simon's parting gift. Sorry. Just like the watch that Nika gave to you. In time, its meaning will be clear, but first you need to learn how to make use of it. How do you know about the watch? From reading the inscription on its shell. Amalgam is what we call liquid time. As so long as you have some, you need not take a linear view of things. You may rewind the film or turn the story on its side. And if perchance, you meet death instead of life, amalgam will pour out of you, and you'll be granted a new chance to try. Wait, I can't die? When I was younger, I had fancies of rewinding my life like Nickelodeon reel. Your fellow in the mirror room, was that you too? Already told me all about it. You must remember this. To die with no amalgam is a final and true death. The same death that you struggle to defeat, so you must always keep amalgam close at hand, or else we'll meet in the darkest end. I understand. With no amalgam, your watch is just a watch, and not a tool for changing time. You must remember this. To die with no amalgam is a final to true death, and true death. The same death that you struggle to defeat. So you must always keep amalgam close at hand, or else you will meet the darkest end. So amalgam is vital to me, just as much as other depends on bread and meat to survive. Indeed, you need to go a scrounging for your daily bread. You'll have all that you need. Amalgam you must find for your own self. Mirrors are the source of it. They skim a man's reflection, tapping time within themselves. And if a mirror should break, its liberated time could then take. And then the world inside the mirror will be shattered to pieces. I see. Yes, I've done that before. Once at a gymnasium, I broke a mirror for showing me a nasty reflection. Didn't add any seconds to my living then. Amalgam also comes from labors done. Every finished task inspires, giving you more time. I know the feeling. I felt it in the capital too. My task today is to explain the things that matter most. The rest you'll come to know and understand in time. I ask, Senor, do you have the things I've said? Do you hear my words, Simon's words, with respect? I feel weird in this town, in the present. There must be a phenomenon behind this. I believe that you believe what you're saying. Simon was doing experiments with times, with clocks, watches. That's the important part, which I understand. Glass workers must be the most respected tradesmen in your town, given these superstitions. There. Yeah. Can I break that? No. So where am I going?
Optics, vision. Their answer is in mirrors.
There's a pond. Are you heading to the town hall too? Why would I be? No, it's more. And why do you care where I was going? There's some commotion in town since the morning. They say all the ruling families have gathered in the town hall. Something's going on. If I only knew what exactly and what to prepare for. All right, I'll go see what's happening in the town hall. All right, let's go. Going the right way, right? Think. Go see what's over there. Oh. Alright, cool. Whatever. Maybe there? Which I forgot how to do that again. Alright, so. Alright, let's go. Oh boy. Hello? Why do you insist on snooping around here? Didn't I make it very clear you'd be devoured? I didn't plan this. You can't walk around town without stumbling upon the plague. I'm a doctor studying disease is my mission. I cannot do that by hiding from it. Man, what about you? Well, I'm a doctor. Well, that's certainly noble of you, but in that case, you need to learn the anatomy of an inflicted district. There's usually an epicenter. What do you see on the ground here? Trash, debris, sometimes bodies, plague, miasma, and fog. Kira mattered. Yes, there's a focal point somewhere in the district, a plague rupture, and there's often dark crimson flowers blooming above it. A flower that thrives on blood. That makes the rupture easy to spot, but if I were you, I'd stay far away from it as possible. Ah, focal point of infection, you mean? That makes sense. Any infection must have a source. I mean, the rupture in the ground. Didn't they tell you that anger, death, and Shabnak are all born from the earth? Well, now you know. In other words, somewhere in the district, there's a hotbed of bacteria-ridden dirt with district flowers next to it. I should collect the sample. Are you out of your mind? How would you react if someone went after your mother, disturbed the earth, and the Shabnak Adig will only see you. Will see only you. She won't rest until she strangles the life from you. Someone once advised me not to take my hallucinations too seriously, so I won't. How am I supposed to understand the nature of the infection if I don't study it? She's wandered off right now. Maybe you could pull this off if you find a flower and scrape the dirt beneath it. But next time, the Shognut will be close by. Mark my words. You'll have to stop her somehow to collect your sample or dodge her. I don't know. Anyway, you're better off just staying home. That doesn't exist. What doesn't exist cannot harm me. I just need to keep my imagination in check. The closer the focus of the affection, the more danger there will be. I understand that. So the plague merges from the ground. That's a very important tidbit. Alright, because words can't kill, no one's ever died after thousands of times someone said fire, I hate you, or I declare war. Let me just collect the sample and we'll see what happens next. Well, that's completely different. In those cases, it wasn't the word that killed. Focus on infection. It's a focus on infection here that I need to find. The louder the sound, the closer I am.
I don't like this.
Shit, I don't have anything with me. Crap. Do I not? Do I really not have? I thought I had stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Hell am I? I'm going the wrong way. Not again.
And how can you explain this? You can't.
Crap. Really? Ah.
The town went bad. But you, Dankovsky, how could you?
Well, I can't run anymore. So, yeah.
Your fantasies should be studied, Dankovsky.
Yeah, I have nothing else here. Tangle Tots. I always remember important items, artifacts, forgettable consumables are not transferred between days. They are waiting for me in the clock. Oh, on the day when I collected them. Well, I kind of wish I knew that shit before I went. Now I can't run anymore. Where the hell am I? I'm trying to find a sample. Now I can't run anymore. Yeah, I can't. I'm just gonna have to go slow. Well, I'm dead. Yeah. There's no death chat back. Does not exist. I guess. Guess there. There. We'll go this way instead. Hopefully it's not too bad. Ah, that's right. Shit. Hold on. Can I go back? No? Are you gonna let me? Oh. Alright, yeah.
What the hell?
Can I cannot really focus. Alright. Okay, so I don't have anything. Probably gonna die again.
Boiling, crackling,
Let's just go into a... No. Sure. There we go. Come on. Damn it. Come on. Keep going.
I'll blink and you'll be gone.
There we go. Go. I swear to God, if I get caught. There. Jesus.
Keep quiet in the library.
Anything else I can kick? Ah.
Boiling,
There we go.
cracking, screeching.
There we go. Ow. Ah. Oh, shoot. Oh, hey, Cap. Sorry. That's fine. Don't worry. Just glad you're okay. Alright, so. Something about a meeting? Greetings. You have an appointment? I heard there was a gathering taking place. And Wednesday. And what is happening here? It's sort of gathering? By the sounds of it. Oh, no, no, no. Impossible. Gatherings are forbidden around here. There's a gathering. I'm telling you, it's in the building. Are you serious? Half the town is yelling that there's people waiting for me here. It's a matter of the plague. Naturally, assemblies of any kind are forbidden. Gathering about the plague? Ah, there. Ah, then come in. Go in there on the left. They've been waiting an hour for you already. Thank you. Ooh, look, aren't you looking dapper? Vlad Olgimsky, boss, owner of the Bull Enterprise, that is, the entire complex of facilities for slaughtering bulls and turning them into food and goods. His belly is as vast as his abattoirs, or whatever. And his confidence in his own power, Olgimsky managed to bend an entire people to his will, briding ancient myths into his service. He's loved no one but his daughter.
No, I won't believe in a killer made of clay.
You talking about that? That's never mind. Bachelor, why are you here? This is something of a family matter. Do you have a family, Bachelor? I was told there was a meeting in town hall, and that's what I was. And that I was expected. The plague is a family matter, huh? You must have an immense family indeed then. How many thousands people live here? 12? 10, 12? I got one in the capital. My laboratory is my family. With all due respect, Bachelor, you are not needed here.
Ill-timed. What now?
My patience has its limits, Booze. I insist you pay our guest a proper respect. If was I who invited him to this meeting. Inviting an outsider into the house? Are you sure he's as learned as you say? Does he specialize precisely in our shared tribulation? Please, don't tell me you've forgotten what happened during the first outbreak. Almost no one survived. True, we don't know for certain if it's the same sand fever, but if it is, Isidore is gone. We need a doctor. We need air. Any doctor, or else. So, the esteemed Governor Sabaroth picks the first one he sees. Please excuse my interruption. I just wanted to let you know that I'm standing right here and can hear you perfectly. Then I'll be taking my leave. I'm not here to be insulted. Please, enough grandstanding. This town doesn't even have a hospital, and you're looking to be picky about doctors. Enough. The bickering is unbecoming of a man of action. Arguments will lead to catastrophe and nothing else. We don't air our dirty laundry here. If he carries a report on our customs to the capital, then we can say goodbye. The town where we hoped to build something new. Maybe that's where the plague comes from. Unaired laundry. Leave it long enough and it makes an impressive petri dish. You're hiding something. What have you done, Ogimsky? Spit it out. Yes, they dislike freedom in the capital. I've had the taste of that myself, but out here you're still blissfully ignorant in that respect, I gather. You're in no position to ask such questions. We do have some expertise here. If you must know, we already taken measures, but thanks to you. No thanks to you. The termitary sealed off, the arbiter shut down, the vaccine is made. We're distributing it now. We have no need for you. Hold on a second. This vaccine you're talking about? Termitary? Yes, I've heard of it. That's a factory dormitory, right? I can imagine the conditions in there. By the way, I need to examine it at once. Get me some assistance, please. 50 men to do. Wait, what are you talking about? Vlad Logimsky, the younger, has already tested the first vaccine prototype. The results appear promising. This town has a laboratory then? You've created the vaccine surprisingly quickly. What does that mean? He's tested the vaccine. Does he have the necessary qualifications? I'm imagining it. Or do I hear doubt in your voice? My son has a better understanding of these things than you do, at least, because this place is his home, his domain, and the results are self-evident. Where can I see the results? These results of yours. Your son is your son a doctor? You're forgetting yourself again, esteemed bachelor. I'm not accountable to you. He's not a doctor. No, he's not a doctor, but it seems the vaccine has indeed helped several people. Everyone. It helps everyone. We gave it to one volunteer, so to speak, this very night. Still alive and kicking. Alive and kicking. I like that. I'm writing it all on my discharges summaries from now on. Alive, he's kicking then. The termitary? Where is he kicking it then? The termitary? Can I have a look at him? This volunteer of yours? I'm not letting you into the termitary, I told you. You don't need the termitary. Audrey Stabenden claims he's given the medication to his people at the Broken Heart. That's the public house by the factory, and unlike the other places, you can certainly drop in. I see. I'll investigate that concoction. What else do I need to know? You need to know you're not welcome here. I'll have my leave your emergency meeting for a time. Then I need to flush someone out the Broken Heart. Someone out at the Broken Heart. Alright, so let's see. We haven't done that. Sure he did. We're at that at the meeting. Vlad's experience. Vlad Jr. has tested some step cure for sand pest in Audrey's pub. Where is that? Let's talk about it. Let's go over there. Out. Put me in. You have something to say? Am I missing something here? Oh. Hound died. Rations, remaining. Equipment. 400. Fuel. Orderlies. Relation of the population. Immunize town people with Olympus's new remedy to combat the sand pest. Status enacted. Okay. So infection eliminated. Is it locked? Gregory Kane, the judge, Simon's brother. Rumor has it that they're twins, but some people say he's half Simon's age. He's always saw earthly justice as a reflection of divine judgment and treated with the utmost gravity. But at heart, he remained the chief theorist of Simon's ideas, an architect and creator of society and the world itself. I should have listened to him from the start.
Chain a rock to your ankle if you wish to see the bottom.
There are times when the matters become irrelevant. Dunkowski is a scientist and a doctor. Simon wished to know him. That means he cannot be a useless man. We need him at the emergency command.
Links between souls. That is the way to grow. Weave your web, Arachna.
It's not simply that he brandished his accomplishments, begging special treatment on our day of grief. His arrogance is the only part of the problem. He is incapable of listening or learning. Simon misjudged him. This man has nothing to offer our vision. He may be an intellectual, but he is spiritually bankrupt. Our vision is not currently under threat. The whole town's existence is on the line. The plague is banging on our doors, and again, Simon said, Dr. Dunkowski, you're here. We've been waiting for you. Don't patronize me. I heard the last bit of the conversation. Well, he seems nice to me. Okay. I heard the last bit of the conversation, and I'd like to offer my apologies. I'm sorry if I disappointed or insulted you. Yes, I am here. Greetings, finally. That's one. Apology non-existent. Well, you're an asshole. Okay, but my brother is right. You are a doctor from the capital, which means your expertise will be highly sought after, and we, or I, rather, will have to cope. I shall simply catch whatever you inevitably let slip through your fingers. Well, at least you're able to repeat to my face what you whispered behind my back. Thank you for letting me participate in this meeting. This might sound strange, but I don't even remember what we argued about. Whether you've forgotten it or not, or still lose sleep replaying it in your head, it matters not. You ought to have minded your words then by now. Not now. Gregory, please calm down. Grigory, whatever. Georgi, whatever. Dr. Demkowski, despite our differences, we must unite against the common threat. We, the town's rulers, possess the resources, and you have the knowledge. Isidore Barak, Defeated the previous outbreak of the sand pest, but he's dead now. We need a doctor. Thank you for the voice of reason, Victor. I can do all I can, but I'm no entomologist. Are you ready to work with a qualified doctor yourself? Everyone here seems to be used to superstitions. Right. Your doubts are noted, but still, which measures do you consider most urgent? We need to set up a hospital, of course, study the disease. I don't think we can create a cure this quickly, but we can attempt a vaccine to protect uninfected. We'll need to set up strict regulations, inform populace, distribute water, food, fuel. Welfare saves more lives than medications do. Security patrols, a curfew, protective cordons. The plague will bring chaos. We might lose more people to a knife in the dark than the infection. That's not what I'm here for. I'm at a loss for myself. I want to say the hospital. So you are a doctor above all else. You think like a doctor. We're in luck. We have enough rulers here, stepping on each other's toes. Healers are what we lack. Okay. You made it abundantly clear yesterday that our town and its histories are in no interest to you, but know this: 5 years ago, the crude sprawl, the district where the plague was discovered, was simply sealed off. The disease burned out in 3 days. There were rumors of survivors, but that's all they were, rumors. The sand plague is incurable. Our town, let's say that it's relatively young. We don't have equipment or resources, not on that scale. You'll have to improvise. Not even establishing a hospital here after the first outbreak was unwise. It's very telling. I wouldn't be the head of Thonectica if I couldn't improvise. Isidore Berger ordered the crude boarded up, right? He was the one to write off everyone inside as dead. I guess the second one. Many here place their hopes in you. For some reason, you don't need to waste your breath boasting. I wish you luck. I wish you luck, Bachelor. We are all in the same boat here, and rowing in the different directions would mean death. As far as I know, you are trying to eradicate death. The death of our town might as well be your first step. Thank you, Victor. You too, Grigori, for being frank. I hope your family will at least refrain from getting in my way. I prefer idea. Decree idea curfew. Restrict people's freedoms. Alright. Temporary alliance. It's all about Simon. Let's see where we go. All about Simon. Simon is the key to fighting the sand people. Or the sand pest. Sand people. Well, I'm a doctor, so I probably should worry on that. I need to go check this out, I think. Kane's family has excommunicated me from their homes and friendship. However, the younger Kane don't follow this prohibition. In this year's study. Wait, go back. As the younger is taking charge of the fight against the epidemic. Vlad Jr. has tested some of Steep's cure. I think I need to go there. I'm gonna try focusing more on the disease first. Can I leave? Alright, let's see. Here, and then there. Straight.
Every creak, like a gunshot.
Ew. See if I can find some items too. Ah, I forgot mine. Find them. Let's go. There. You need to get the Rubens before his killers. Damn it. I'll go there. See if I can maybe intercept it beforehand. Ah, why? Where am I? Ah, crap! I gotta get all the way. New. Are we going the right way? Kind of. Oh, it. I am not going the right way. Over here? No, no door. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
I'd rather not hear this.
Alright, cool. I'm not welcome here. They killed him like an animal. Don't you get it? We went out. He went out for the water. He went out for water, and soon he stepped over the threshold. Someone slit his throat. I've never seen so much blood in my life. He's still lying there in a puddle, eyes open, staring at the sky. A bloody beast. People like that need to be muzzled on a leash. Why are you standing around looking downtrodden? What beast are you talking about, gentlemen? Who exactly do you plan on putting on a leash? What's up ahead requires presence of a patrolman. Well, that district's riding. They put us here to keep order, but it turns out there's nothing left to keep. It's all gone to hell in a handbasket. People have lost their minds, stalking arms through the streets. Scaring off thieves is one thing, but they're rioting. Can't you hear the shots doctors? Their knives are bared. Take one step into the street and you'll be choking on your own blood. I'll keep my windpipe unventilated, thank you very much. I was in the choir before the plague. So, do you need a weapon? Is that it? Got 2 shot, if anything. Why are people rioting? They're unhappy with the new regulations, the decrees, restrictions, the quarantine. We understand that it's for their own good, but that's why we're the patrol. The common folk, they're hot-blooded, and they'll boil over at the slightest thing, turn savage, reach for cold steel, I'm guessing because I asked for the regulations or something. Well, no, I didn't ask for regulations. I just wanted the hospital. Well, between the two of us, we've got one gun, but what are we supposed to do with it? Shoot people? I'm happy to scare folk and chase them off, but drawing a line at killing. I draw the line at killing. I won't do it. You can keep going if you want, but count us out. Here, I'll give you the revolver. I understand not everyone is capable of shooting or living. A breathing person. Sure, if it bodes well for us that our patrolmen possess such high-minded virtue. You have ammo for it. Yeah. Truth is, we don't have much ammo to spare. It's a rare commodity, and maybe that's for the best. Shooting just makes noise, and it only attract more of those feelings. If some thugs come at you, don't get trigger happy. Try threatening them first. Shove the barrel in their face, give them a scare. That'll buy you time to run. Only 2 things worth preserving in a riot: your honor, your neck, and your ammo. 3 things, but no matter. I know what you mean. Not bad. Okay. Ready your weapon, defend yourself. Press 2. Dangerous but cowardly. It's better to load the gun. The locals don't know if it's loaded. If the locals don't know if it's loaded, they'll only see a revolver aimed at them. Ordinary people, they're afraid. A shot into the air or the death of their fellow riders will frighten them eventually. Tactical treat. It's important not to let them realize I'm out of ammo. You can always run away, but I'll only be fast enough to use stimulants.
Вот сюда, стреляй, лепил. Простите, убивай.
Get away from me.
Стреляй, лепил.
Брат,
get away.
Кто стреляет? Слышь, лепил. Прости. Вот сюда.
That I gotta go all the way to the camp. Oh, I have some bullets. All right then. Damn it! Ugh. I should have shot in the air. They would have ran away. God, I hope I don't. I think I just have to start in that area. Doing Andy Worski. Is that where I was? I should have just shot in the damn air. Oh, great. Where am I? Oh, fuck me. Fuck. Okay. Alright, I gotta run now. Not do this again. See if I can get out of here fast. Nope. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Turn off the lights. Or turn off the fire.
What's going on with my nerves?
Just go. Almost there, I think. Yep. Alright. Alright, let's do this again. Huh? I understand that everyone is capable of shooting a person, blah blah blah. Doing things, but okay. Yeah. Load it before anyone shows up. 2, 3. Get your...
Доктор, прости. Не стреляй! Лепи, слышь? Не заряжен. На фон?
Slow. Yes, it is.
Прости. Еще не стреляем? Не стреляй! Вот сюда.
They calling me. Something too. Get my apathy down. You should shoot you in the goddamn head. They don't look like. Boy, can I not shoot him? The fuck? I gotta be very careful. I swear to God, get out of the way. Or the cow gets it. Actually, you know what? That cow ain't doing it. Where am I? Really? You gonna start running at me?
Brevi, man.
Слышь, лепи! Не стреляй!
Monster.
Ah. What should I be contemplating? Silence of Man's laboratory. Doctor. My laboratory. I'm a doctor. Ah, nice. Hello? You're not gonna do shit, are you? Man, you seem kind of done. Never ended, boys. Oh. Get away from me. The hell? And now I can't move properly.
Мало мы вас вешали. Ведь мало мы вас вешали. Разговор не ждали. Только
Hey.
убивай.
Really? Okay, you're just stuck in the wall. Can you even get out? Holy crap. Get away. Get away from the door.
Не убивай.
Гля, лепил. Не стреляй!
Не заряд. Только...
Слышь, на
Да он пустой. Мало мы вас
Hey.
Какими судьбами?
Damn it. Probably should have shot one of them, to be honest. Alright, where am I in this? Doesn't save over there. That kind of sucks. Man, I have to be really down, too. Or really up. Alright, try this again.
The column of steppe legends. Myth. Fiction.
Where am I? I went the wrong way. Fuck.
As if things are animated.
There we go. Alright, so. Righty. Blah, blah. Give me the gun. Alright, so. Do I like sneak past them, or do I have to go this way? I have to go this way. You serious?
Мало мы вас вешали.
Yeah.
That is the enemy.
Не убивай, не бась.
Get away.
Слышь,
Какие
прости.
люди.
Seriously? I was kind of sucks. They don't actually show them getting shot. That kind of.
Мы вас вешали.
Son of a bitch. Ugh. Trying to get there, get in there, like to stop that guy from getting killed. And go in there.
Quite the imagination you've got, Dankovsky.
Alright. I do have that too.
Глянь, лети, вот сюда. Доктор, прости.
Мало мы вас слышим.
А чё не стреляем?
Патронов? Не заряжен. Брат, судьбами разговор.
Get away from me. Made me.
I'd rather not hear at all.
Сволота столичная.
Everything's so far.
Брат, только... Стой. Мало мы вас вешали.
Get away from me. Get away.
Не убивай.
Жа-жа.
Не зарядники. Брат, не убивай. Мало мы вас вешали.
Where the hell am I going? Alright. Here. Yeah, kind of.
Слышь, не стреляй!
Get out of here.
Вот сюда.
Zero. Get away from here. What do you got? Thank you.
Не заряжен.
Who's there? Get lost. It's me, Dunkowski. How about you open up? It's not very convenient talking to a door. No. Don't even bother. I'm busy, and besides, there's smoke and fumes in here. It's impossible to stay. Just don't. Running some kind of experiment in there? Come on, you can't scare me like with that. We really need to talk. It's a matter of life and death, literally. Dunkowski, I told you no. I won't let you in. Not today. Come back another day. What on earth's going on in there? None of your business. Don't pry, please. I have a revolver. Are you threatening me, Ruben? You're lucky it's me. The hide is actually under siege by bandits. And what happened to them? I killed them. Don't you want to say thank you? I dealt with it. The threat is gone. If you're barricading yourself from bandits, just relax and let me in. You're no better than them. Just another caned lackey. Even if you only got here the day before yesterday. Ruben, I killed them. I came here for Simon Kane. I want to get to the bottom of his death. And I heard you might be able to help with that. Nonsense. Kane barely talks to me. The Kanes barely talk to me. What does that matter? I need to talk to you properly, not through a door. Yes, right. Why would I? You were the last person to see Simon. That's what I was told. And you believe them? What choice do I have? I traveled clear across the entire country to study the phenomenon that dissolved like smoke right now, I'll take any lead. Ruben, you do realize how suspicious you're acting. The only thing you don't hide is that you have something to hide. Nikoski, I told you, I have a revolver. Come back tomorrow, or better yet, the day after, and I won't have to point it at you. Tomorrow or the day after, you'll have a lot of explaining to do. Ah, crap. No, damn it. $43, 13. There's a don't want to go all the way to the beginning. Either he's not any help or I'm saying the wrong things. Honestly, not sure. I'm gonna try something else though. I'm gonna look into this cure.
You invented this yourself.
Good. Where are we?
Misophonia, Dankovsky.
We go. Oh, it's over here. Hey, not here, right? No. Is this house, maybe?
The town dribbles.
Where the hell's a door around here? Jesus. Ew. Oh.
Forgot that there's so much.
God damn it. I completely passed it. I'm an idiot. Alright. At the right place, right? It's like that. Oh, don't look. It smells like all Vampire the Masquerade. Hello. Audrey Stamaton. An architect, pub owner, reveler, and murderer. Audrey and I studied together briefly at university. We met during the student riots. I stitched up his gunshot wounds myself, an unexpected reunion. Audrey always felt confined by dogma and morality. Only a fool could expect him to come to this town and settle for simply pouring Tyrion and nothing more.
I can't promise it'll taste good, but it will be piping hot.
I see the dust of my beloved capital on this man's feet. Cue the fanfare. I'm sure we've met before. No, I don't think we have. A curious establishment you have here. Some sort of workers' club and local proletariat? For the local proletariat? Wait a minute. University juggling knives on a table? That wasn't you, was it? Ah, remembering the time we got the better of those bastards, eh? And you sat there all demure, but when the tables went over you grabbed the gun. Yeah, I remember. Very brave of you. Those were the days, and look at me now. Yes, those were the days. Daniel Dankowski. In case you've forgotten, yes, I remember. You weren't a medic, were you? You used to go gallivanting with your own crowd. I'm Audrey Stamaton. The downgrade, the Alley of Heroes ensemble. The other stairway round, the house, which earned me an expulsion from the Architects Guild. My little brother and I designed them all, but he gets the laurels and I get the curses. That's just how things are. Really, I don't know all of that was your work. It's an honor to meet you. And now you're pouring drinks at a provincial pub. That's quite a resume. And my joy, so you've come from the capital. What's the situation? How is our university in the university's court of miracles? Is Sepago still alive and kicking? The old bastard still owes me a lot of money. Come to think of it, no matter. I haven't been there in a while. I don't feel much nostalgia for our alma mater, honestly. And I didn't present my thesis there, but rather at the academy. My topic was a bit too bold for the academy elders, I think. What? Did you resurrect the dead or something? Got it in one, actually. Since you're here now, tell me, have you ever tried a Chwirine yet? It's a very special drink. The steep herb helps have a peculiar character. When infused in liquor, the effects on a man can be mind-blowing. I admit, it's quite an addictive business. Architecture is getting old anyway. No, I haven't. I'll keep my mind unblown if it's all the same. Not yet, you know. I'm glad to meet someone from my old life here. We'll talk again. I need to ask you something urgent now, though. Well, you are your own master, I suppose. Like they say, a man's life is his to ruin. How can I lighten your mood then? I've heard of some sort of medicine being distributed through your establishment, an alleged vaccine for this devilish sand plague. Why not? No guts, no glory, or as they say. Come on, tell me more. Or let's see. And those who seek the glory often lose their guts, as well as their ability to drink, eat, and draw breath. You must have heard the damn pest ran through 5 years ago, right? The worms didn't just sit idly after. They threw together a remedy. Dead gruel, they call it. The younger Olgimsky came to me and suggested I hand it out at the pub. Clever of him. Dead gruel. Nice fitting name. Might as well add it to the menu at this point. I wouldn't think you of all people would be scared of something like that. You're a doctor, and some herbal concoction brewed with infected blood. There's some entrails thrown in for flavor. You make a tiny cut, rub on a smidgen, and you go to bed, breathing easy. A vaccine, if I've ever seen one. Closer to a violation. You do understand this could put you in an early grave, don't you? I'm at a loss for words. Has this remedy ever been through trials? Look behind you. See the dancer? She had the stuff yesterday, then walked through the sick district to pay her lover a visit, and here she is now, dancing her feet off. You die in 5 hours from the sand pest, don't you? 8, if you're tough. And she's here like nothing happened. So you employ infected dancers then. I hope Gimsky Jr. began this human experimentations with himself as the first test subject. Don't panic, Professor. The step concoction works. I'm sure of it. I was just about to try it on myself before you came and distracted me. Don't even think about it. Are you sick of living? I'm not going to allow an unregulated distribution of questionable medicine to townspeople. I must put an end to this at the highest level. The dancer participated in the experiment is still alive. I need to examine her immediately. We'll return to this conversation later. Hold on. Call me a bastard. It hit me. Stitch his wound. Back in the capital. Polyhedron and his and his brother's creation. Yeah, she sure looks okay. It stayed healthy thanks to folk medicine. Audrey says the dancer was in the infected district. I wouldn't rush the conclusions. Pianist rejected Audrey in the capital. Mechanical piano. He's despised pianist ever since. Oh, shit. Okay. God damn it. There's no... Oh, thank God. I'm still here. That's fine. I have nothing. Ow. Alright, do this again.
There's nothing to talk about.
Then all that crap. Roll analysis. Let's see what we got. Sand pest culture presents a valid split present in Vlad's serum. Guinea pig was the dancer. Alright. Did the Did the Yagachin send you? Why isn't he here? Why are you here? Who are you? Yagachin, what is that? I'm getting tired of these steep riddles. So many questions steered me your way. What do you need at Beardham? I'm a doctor. I was told you traversed the infected district after dose of dead gruel. I'd like to know how you feel now. Any complaints? No complaints. I live well. It's just my heart that aches. The heart. I see. What sort of pain? Stabbing, burning? Is it constant, or do you only feel it in the evenings? It's sinking, fluttering, like moth on glass. Someone lives in my heart, not one of the Katane. Are you talking about suffering of the spirit, my good lady? It's your symptoms that interest me, not your emotions. Please take it seriously. My body doesn't suffer alone, Erdem. If there's pain, it's everywhere. My heart aches, my legs shaking. That's more like it. Legs shaking, you say. How can you dance, say? Could you be more specific? No one here knows how well I dance. I used to dance everywhere, or elsewhere, not within the walls, out on the earth, with my feet. I spoke to Mother Bodo. Then I learned. Then the lean year came. I went to a bear tour to pound the hides with my heels. So your lifestyle changed rather drastically. Sanitary conditions at the main factory leave much to be desired. The repertoire is hard. The termitary is hard. Couldn't live there. Cramped, stony, far from earth. I left. Lost my shelter. Lost my heart. Now I dance within the walls. How long ago did you abandon the arbitor and the termitary for the pub? When the new moon came, I had a dream. The termitary was a box, and someone took that box with his soft white hands. He placed it in a lavish cupboard and locked it up tight. I left that day. The moon was full. The moon is full now. You can count the days yourself, Erdem. I see. Tell me, where did you first feel this malaise? Was it back in the termitary? That is where I felt it. Where my legs began to shake. Where my head grew heavy. Mu Gaza. A bad place. Is that right? Thank you. How long have you been feeling unwell? Is essential information. It looks like you were afflicted with something before the young Bogimsky experiments. And before your walk through the infected district, I need to get to the bottom of this. B. Yushi Olgan Gim. Have you asked your question, Erdem? Do you need any more? I'd like to have a closer look at you, if you allow it. I may find other symptoms on your person. Everyone here to look at me, Erdem. You can too. Still, stay back a bit for where your center of attention you'll need to address fully. Alright. Heart is racing. From dancing or the symptoms, she did complain about her heart. Strong build, clearly gets regular exercise, doesn't look exhausted. Open no. Oh, okay, that was weird. Okay, let's see. Single, dancer, third day of plague. Skinners. Let's see. Gastrointestinal tract, vomiting, belching. Bronchopathy, headache, loss condition. Oh, I select these or something? Scarred symptoms, lock diagnosis. Okay. Found. What is that? Scratch, minor injury, or such an itch that she scratched it until it bled. Oh. Flame skin, pimples, rash, bites. Okay, arm. No. Bites. Reverse. Harmful habits, diagnosis, itchy skin, skin redness, rash, insect bites. Oh, disease and irritation. Irritation causing irresistible urge to rub and scratch the skin, sometimes until bleeding. Eczema. No. Alright. Oh. Respiratory. Chest pains, difficulty breathing. Severe form coughing. No. That's blushing. Burning sensation in the heart, fever, rapid pulse, but she was dancing, so damage. Let's go back. So heart racing, dancing, or symptoms. She did complain about her heart, but it also seemed like she was just kind of being metaphorical. But I'm not sure. Strong bill clearly works out. Doesn't look exhausted. Oh, that's actually pretty good too. Never mind. Okay, let's go back. Let's see. Nephropathia. Let's see. Hydrophobia, headaches, bulimia, photophobia. No. Headache, loss of condition, itchy skin, ulcers, insect bites, rapid pulse, skin redness, weakness. I don't think she has weakness though. Hallucinations, irritable pupils, chest pains, rash, vein damage, doesn't have that either. Or weakness, or slow pulse, no. Hallucinations, headaches, memory lapse, fever, loss of, no. Measles. Red eyes, no. Red eyes, heartburn, rash. Vomiting, belching, loss of appetite, heartburn. Insect bites appear pinpoint, redness, small size, can be present on skin in large quantities, differs from rash by absence of swelling. Let's go back. Back. Flame skin. Those rash bites. Performing dark contrast. No. Loss of Let's see. Oh, I didn't realize I could look. Okay, cool. Natural disease caused by pestilence bacteria. Infections occurs through contact with infected patients, contaminated water, and mosquito bites carrying bacteria. The infected experience muscle weakness, headaches. Headaches, in some cases dizziness. The bite area becomes itchy. I want to say maybe she's itching. Like she has that scar. I don't. Let me go back to it. That. What is that? Scratch. Minor injury. Or such an itch that she scratched until bleeding. Doesn't see any like affected area though. I think she is scratching herself. Go back. I will try itchy skin. So far, this one's the best one, but it's... Maybe rapid heart rate might be a red herring in and of itself, though. Hallucinations, headaches, hydrophobia, no. From Greek, fear of water. Disorder causing spasms, panic attacks, blah 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 blah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's just from her dancing. Alright, let's look at this though. Risk, crowded conditions. Rash, ulcer formations. Don't think she has any ulcers though. Dizziness, bite area becomes itchy. Later, a rash with ulcer formations appear on the body. The patient experiences constant itching, ulcers, may bleed, comprised immunity, constant scratching of ulcers can lead to complications and often death. Not this one. Doesn't have any of these symptoms though. No. Abdominal pain. Insect bite rash. Misanthrope. Copy. It's viral disease caused by bites from a golden herb fly. Characteristic green rash appears around the bite area, and the disease progress affects the gastric mucosa, leading to vomiting and nausea. Some patients lose the ability to digest food normally and can only tolerate broth and liquids. Okay, she didn't say about that. Symptoms also include extreme... No, this isn't it. No. 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 Honestly, right now, that That's not it. Probably the best one, to be honest. Cardiac hallucinations. No, not even close. Burning fever, rapid pulse. That's not it. Measles. No, I didn't even look at her throat. Harmful habits. That is the only one I can think of. She didn't lose. Well, I mean, she didn't look very coordinated in terms of her dancing, but she didn't say about headaches or ulcers. No weakness. In fact, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't look exhausted. Gotta be something I'm not seeing, though. Let's see. Missions. Oh, okay, cool. I can come back to this. I'm not Menku. Or no Menku. Erdum. I only know Spirit's body. The human body, I don't know it. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? But do you know something about your own body? Tell me, does your heart only beat like that after dancing, or all the time? My Zirikim. This wayward heart is this wayward heart of mine. It beats all the time now. If I was to been dancing, I've never in its proper place. Always trying to leap out. To embrace its beloved. I'm not sure this is about love. A rapid pulse is a common symptom of several diseases. I don't know why you're asking these questions, but if Audrey Akai sent you, that's how it should be. What happened to your back? The skin's inflamed, scratched, or a rash, and some sort of acne. My back's burning, Erdem. So bad that sometimes I scratch until I bleed. Okay. It only comes with cold things. Can you remember if you ever bitten by an insect? I can't. It's autumn. Who can? Lots of gnats buzzing around. Tyne, Olan. But when the gnat bites, it better next day. My back only burns worse and worse. An insect could carry infection, though. Yes, that's the most realistic hypothesis. Then you have a dermal symptom. Alright. I'm just one step from a diagnosis. Your back burns worse and worse. Okay. Okay, so retract is affected, chance to headache. I think not headaches though. Bulimia, diarrhea, nausea, belching. No, I don't think anything from that. Didn't say anything about weakness either. ulcer. Nothing but an ulcer. No weakness. She doesn't. Or loss of coordination. More time. Let's see. Questions about what I need a moment to contemplate your case. Uneven skin pigmentations observed, forming a pattern of dark toned spots resembling scales separated from together. Stone disease, sign of disease, skin cornification and cracking. The skin resembles earth cracked by heat, which is how the symptom got its name. Loss of condition. Disorder signals transmission from the brain. Severe form falls with accompanying injuries and even complete inability to walk are observed. Weakness or headaches. She experiences constant itching, ulcers. She doesn't have ulcers, but she could eventually in time. Worms, infection occur through contact with infected patients, water, mosquitoes, bites carrying bacteria. Headaches, in some cases dizziness. The light area becomes itchy. Later a rash with ulcers forming. Patient experiencing constant itching, compromising immune. All right, that's my only one. Lymphotonitis. Okay. Better do this before I end up dying. Nothing. I'll go tell him he hasn't quite grasped the state of your health.
What are you worried about?
And while
That
you
they'll
were
chide you?
while you were back here toying with my dancing girls, I remembered they opened some deranged lab in the capital to exterminate death. It's called erotica. Maybe heard of it? Right up your alley. I see you're quickly study in disdain. Your quick study. I see you're a quick study in disdain. It's Thanatica. That damn it, I can't pronounce the words today. And what have you heard about it? I gotta be careful with that. You see, you and I are not just fellow students, we're fellow sufferers. My creations are also on the kill list for, what was it? Intellectual extremism and anti-humanism? I've been checking in occasionally, curious as to what else they decided to chop up. And I don't just mean the architecture. it's not over for Thanatika yet. We'll see who comes out on top. And here we both are in the wake of those measures. The polyhedron and the Damocles. The polyhedron of Damocles hanging over my lodgings. That's one of your creations too, isn't it? Recognized my signature style, didn't you? It's mine, all right. Mostly my brother's, though. He's a genius, shining brilliance. I should introduce you to, though it can wait for now. Tell me, what do you think of my dancer girl? That girl has the capacity. In what capacity does she work for you? If you don't mind me asking, I'm hoping you're asking me as a doctor. Let's get back to business. We have small talk. We'll have time for small talk when we survive. She dances. It's hardly work for her, like it's their lifestyle. Heard of the herb brides yet? With their bare feet, they touch the earth, and the earth bears the twire, whatever. Then I bear it down into fantastic liquor. Everyone's happy. Dancing at a pub for an audience is not the same as dancing on a step, I'd say. The customs in this backwater is yours or something else. Of yours is something else. Let's get back to business. We'll have to talk. Small talk when we survive. You've gone dull, man. No matter. Our town will sharpen you up, though. Though you have a point. So, what about the dancing girl? How does she feel about the dead girl? I'm not quite sure about the dead girl. I don't think she's showing signs of the plague, but I'd give her a day off anyway. She's sick from something else. She has different infectious disease, potentially contagious. She's said she's lived in the terminology until recently. She must have contracted it there. A termitary terminology. But it's not the plague. Anything else can be cured, and you're just a man to do it. What do you say? Will you treat Kulan? Wait, did you say Kulan? I know that name. She said she was in love. She wasn't a man of the steep, and he wasn't a man of the steppe. Andrew, how do I count it? Tomorrow. She will die of a plague tomorrow, and the next day I'll meet her lover at the warehouse. Dankowski. And you're telling me you didn't try to rhyme? Maybe you don't need it with that head of yours. Do you hear yourself? Are you assured? You just assured me Kurlan has some malady other than the sand plague, and now you're raving sheer nonsense. I need to take a breath. I told you. You told me Kurlan walked through the plague district to see her lover. Her lover's abandoned, is he not? Perhaps I'm raving. He just looks the part. As kind a soul as you're like to find. All bark, no bite. You know what he calls you medical lot? Sawbones. I learned that word from him. Big city Sawbones, that's him. He's the one who told me Kurlan died of the plague. But she's standing right here. As alive as they come. Really, Donkowski. Take a seat, maybe rest a little. You're spouting high caliber nonsense. It is your lack of sleep talk. Is it your lack of sleep talking, or did you have a little too much of the good stuff? Yes, I'm rambling from a lack of sleep. All I meant to say is that I suspect Kurlan has the plague after all. How's that? You're making my head spin. What about the other maladies you found? Was that a mistake? No, she's infected with something else, and it slows down the plague. It's just a hypothesis, needs testing, but it would explain everything. The whole peculiar clinical picture. I figured the healthier you are, the better chances of survival. Turns out the plague gobbles down the sick more slowly. Not to her taste, perhaps. Only those suffering from infectious diseases, I think. The onset of the first infection is more acute, and we don't see any signs of the plague. For a while, at least. It's not proven, just a hypothesis, but it's the best lead I have. So what now? You make Caroline your lab rat and shut down my pub? Don't let anyone new inside, and don't let anyone who's already here leave. I know you can handle that. And keep an eye on those who had the most contact with Kulan. And this being the local store. Look at you, all bossy. Did you learn that from directing test tubes back in the capital? Did they goose-step you like a good little soldier? They sure did. By the way, I'd like the sample of this dead gruel, and you'd better destroy the rest of your stock for your own sake. Let's see, I might not be the best man for the job, but I'm certainly more competent than other claimants. Until next time, Audrey, read the gruel is as good as poison. Don't tempt fate. Oh shit. Damn it. Alright, where are we? Diagnosis in terms of answers to diagnosis is not sandpest. Pests have been suppressed by another disease in the organism of the dancer. I need to find more cases like this. Let's go to the map. What? No? There we go. Where else is there? Infected. Oh boy, this might actually kill me.
I could use some quiet.
Yeah, this is gonna kill me. Let's see if I can go here. Yeah, I figured. That over? Because I think that's all of it, right? Honestly, I don't know if I can actually... I don't know how this is gonna work. Because it's gonna kill me regardless. Nice. Right. Yep. All right. Uh. All right. I think as much as I hate to say it, I might be tapping out on this one. This game is not bad. It's just a lot of backtracking and whatnot, and I think I might have more or less kind of messed myself up because especially with the whole mania, I'm just gonna end up dying no matter what. I do like this game. It's very weird, especially this dialogue is very odd. And I did like a little bit of that whole doing with the medical stuff and trying to figure out what the hell made her sick or what she had, but yeah, it's probably not the best game to stream. Also, there's a lot of reading, and clearly I am not a good reader. I don't know if I probably gonna just move on to another game. I'll probably play this offline, but like I said, it's not the best game to be streaming, at least not for someone of my horrid reading skills, but it's not bad. And in fact, I think that's probably a good place to stop. But thank you, Torch. Thank you for recommending this. It was pretty fun. I kind of wish I sometimes I feel like I'm lost, but I really will have to come back to this, even if it's offline. But yeah. But as always, yeah, thank you, Torch. Thank you, Cap, for sticking around and watching me fumble through this. Like you said, this game does not hold your hand. Clearly, I can commend that, but obviously, you know, when you don't at least kind of feel like you give a good basic rundown of things, you do alienate your audience in a sense. I don't know what else there is to say. It's they knew. I'm gonna guess this was a passion project. Obviously, they very much do. They wanted to make an experience, a very unique experience, and they did. But I think I really want to move on to other games. I don't want to spend too much time on something like this. But I'm pretty sure I can be back tomorrow. I gotta check my schedule because over here there is it's getting really cold and we're gonna have a sort of a freeze around here. I don't know if it's really affecting it here where I'm at in Texas. It's been somewhat cool, but that I don't know. And I don't know if they're gonna change my schedule accordingly. I'm assuming it's the same as always, but most likely I'll be back tomorrow. And I do have other games to play, so we'll just go with that. But yeah, like I always said, thank you once again, Cap, Torch, for hanging out, and anybody else who might have stopped by. But as I always said, I've been Joe. I thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good night.